Hey everybody, how's it going? Uh,
Oh
Welcome
my
back to
god.
Wednesday night here on the High Shelf Gaming channel, where nothing weird has happened in the last moment, so we're getting ready to go live and cause any
No,
kinds of trouble. We're
no,
fine. Everything's fine. We're fine
it's
here.
okay.
How are you?
Oh my god. Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. Hey everybody, welcome to High Shelf Gaming. We're gonna play some Blades in the Dark. Quick announcements. We are awaiting news from Art House Orion on Cyberpunk because they said we're gonna go dark for 2 weeks. It's been about 5 days. I can't wait to hear more. And this Sunday, we're going to be playing some Cyberpunk Red, of course. Mike is going to be there. Ethan, you're there. Katrina, are you playing?
No, Casey is. And
Casey is. Rich is. We need one more Pinky. We need a
I
Pinky.
thought Hugo was in.
I haven't heard from Hugo.
Oh.
So
may have a
we'll find a Pinky player.
I'll fill if Hugo's not there.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's going to happen on Sunday. And then Friday is going to be
Friday.
Ethan's game.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Pay
It
for
will
a
not
seat.
be.
You only need the edge.
It will not be quite as intense as the last one.
Fair enough.
The last one was so good.
Fair enough.
Yes,
They
but
cannot-
it's not sustainable.
Yeah, they can't all be Star Wars Episode 1 or whatever. Star Wars Episode 4, right? They can't all be that good. They can't all be that good.
Is that the good one?
That's one of the good ones.
This is
Four-
not a
four is-
conversation to
four is
have
like-
in a public
yeah.
space.
No, 4 is like the original Star War, right? Like that's
That is the Star War. Yes.
Sorry, they can't all be Matrix 1. How about that?
Better.
Okay.
That we can all agree on that one.
Sense. That makes sense. I'm with you. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of, what is it, Matrix Revolutions or whatever. So, whatever.
You just gotta pay for all the good that you got earlier, right? So that's just karmic wheel happening. So yeah, we are playing horrific spooky game on Friday. Is that gonna be Cthulhu Hack?
It is. We'll be moving to the Cthulhu hack and like more consistent characters.
Right?
Yay.
Get invested.
Oh, so the characters that we made.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They might not die. That'd be kind of cool.
We'll see. They might not. They'll
may
survive a couple sessions.
Right. Yeah.
You level up based on how many sessions you survive. So, or no, mysteries you survive. So.
Sure, but yeah, that's good. It's good to know. So if I just make it, that's all I gotta do is just make it.
You don't have to solve it. You just have to survive it.
Just gotta survive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, perfect. So yeah, super fun stuff going on. I think that's all the High Shelf Gaming announcements for now. I'm trying to get us in to a convention that's coming up in October, but I have not heard back yet from the organizer if they're going to give us a slot or not. So once I know more, I will announce it. Be, of course, watching our Twitters and things like that. And hey, join the Discord, right? Because all of us met on the High Shelf Gaming Discord. That's how this game came together. That's how future games come together, is we like look at the Discord and say, hey, I want to run a game. And then we run a game together. And there's games happening offline. There's games happening online. So
But you have to use special characters in Discord to type in that voice.
correct. Yeah, there's a whole nother alphabet that says, I like to play games with my friends. And then
it's exactly what Ethan had to do to run a game.
Yeah.
You just bullied him into playing a game.
That's right.
Also that
too.
I think I did do that.
We just kept volunteering. I think we just kept volunteering you to run some sort of events until eventually.
Yeah, it was like Ethan's gonna run a game, and I'm like,
because Ethan's a great fucking DM. So
and then Ethan did run a game, and it was awesome. And you're gonna run another one on Friday, which is gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
So yeah. Okay, cool.
That's me.
So Mike, I'm gonna hand it to you. Let's talk about Duskfall and the Wall of Lightning and the ghost and whatnot.
Yes, Duskfall. Duskfall is the city in Blades in the Dark by John Harper. You can get it from Evil Hat Press. You can buy digital copies online. You can get it print on demand.
Hashtag not an ad.
Yeah, no, not it's just
all actual plays are a little bit of an ad.
It's just I love it so much. Come on, please. No.
We just ship the things that we love, right?
Very
Yes.
true.
Nobody gives us money. We're just like, we love this game. We're gonna play it.
Free advertising. in that case.
Indeed. But hey, they give us retweets, so that's they're paying us with one thing.
Hey, I'll take it.
That's just is that paid exposure?
That's right.
Millions
Ouch.
of people die of
Ouch.
exposure every year. Okay. Yes, so Blades in the Dark. Blades in the Dark is a role-playing game, and a role-playing game is a game where nah, never mind. Anyway, it is a role-playing game where we are all members of a crew of criminals, uh, seedy underworld types,
Oh, yeah.
you know, um, you know, that kind of thing. Deathfall is sort of Victorian England-ish, like Victorian London-esque, but with more canals and water. Um, and it's in a world where 1,000 years ago there was a great cataclysm, and therefore there's no more sunlight. So it is always dark. It is always nighttime. When people die, their ghosts don't leave, so they will eventually become angry and start attacking people. And so to try to keep the city safe, as David mentioned, it is surrounded by a giant wall of lightning, fueled by the blood of giant squid whale demons that they send out whaling ships to drain their blood for, to power all their steampunk-esque machinery.
I do
That's
like how it's
sustainable.
clear. Yeah, I like how it's clear. They say that they drain them of their blood in order to power this wall. But they don't say that they kill them. So I kind of get the impression that like there's a bit of catch and release going on, and that the demons maybe they get some out of this. I don't know.
You think?
Maybe.
They're like they're into that?
Maybe
Is that
maybe it's like a filtration thing. Maybe they don't have a way of like filtering their blood, right? And so the boats come along and take a bunch of blood. It's like, oh, cool, now I get to make new clean blood. Maybe that's what it is.
That's
It's
a
a
nice thought.
symbiotic relationship.
That's a
I
nice
know
thought.
That's it is so an thought. Like
That totally tracks with everything else we know about this world. That it's totally chill and symbiotic
yeah.
and sustainable. Sustainable.
I was going to say yes, it's totally sustainable, which shows that David hasn't hit a couple of the sections in there where they talk about how like there's some groups who are like trying to deal with the looming shortage of Leviathan blood and what happens to everything when that happens.
Dave's got his own glasses on, guys. It's game time, and this is
Yes,
how Ohm thinks, and we all know it.
On beyond.
yes.
Like that
So
fellow that we just let go.
Let go.
Just let him go.
Just let him go. Just gave him the
floated away.
Milos and let him
Floated
go.
away.
He's on the lovely island.
Yeah. Blades
um,
core or a hack? Blades core.
we were playing regular old Blades in the Dark, like official, straight out of the book. Not even screwing around with weird playbooks or any of that kind of stuff. Just
Right.
dead vanilla Blades, which feels
Out
like
the
a
box.
weird thing to call it. But yeah. So David, aha, over there.
Got the pointing right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Ohm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this guy. Empty Ohm is the leech of the group, really the tinker. I don't do much wrecking, but Ohm is Takarosi, and their demon marking is that, at least from what we can tell around the neck, there's not like a full neck. It's like these stalks that rise up and support it like a scaffolding, support their head like a scaffolding. Ohm is not really gendered. I guess they go by they and he, just depending on the scene. But otherwise, yeah, Tinkerer extraordinaire and the like most innocent one of the bunch, I think. And that's Ohm for you.
That is probably shockingly accurate. Uh, let's see. Next down there in the corner, Ethan, do you want to tell us about Demas?
Sure. Yeah. Why not? I play Demas. He is the Spider. He has the plans for days, plans for years. None of those were really like happening a lot, but maybe it'll start happening soon. He had to go to prison for a while, but he's out. He's ready to go.
You planned your way out of prison super well.
Yeah, totally did that all by himself. No, but
Dude.
but yeah, no, that's it. He has plans. That's all you gotta know. He wants to overthrow governments and stuff. Who doesn't?
little things. Yeah, the kinds of things you do in your spare time. Yeah. So down in
Hobbies.
the other corner, which I will now I'm gonna get the pointing wrong, right? Like that's okay. But down here, we have Casey. So why don't you tell us about Griffith?
Hey y'all, I play Griffith, aka Ghost. He's the hound of the group. He is also Takarosi and cousin to Ohm, but unlike Ohm, he is the exact opposite.
The least
He's
innocent of the
he's
bunch.
all
At least
that.
innocent. I have shark features,
Like a big
shark
thick
teeth,
neck, like the shark
really big
pointy head.
nuts. Yeah, gills. Not almost not exactly like the dude from the new Suicide Squad game, but
Okay.
because he has more human face, but like definitely the jaws, the teeth,
Yep.
the build, and he's dark. Well, he's got black skin, purple eyes, and he now has this lovely wife, and has got rid of a very problematic person. And now he's trying to plan on how to get his unicorn back from a very dangerous person.
Yep. Oh yeah, the unicorn, the like alligator unicorn thing that like grabbed a guy and beat him
And
against
ate
the
him.
ship.
Do not
and
be
then ate
deceived,
him.
dear chat,
Yeah.
by the word unicorn.
Unicorn.
Do not be deceived.
I believe that
Yeah.
picture's in
Snow,
Oh, yeah, there
Snowflake
it
the
is.
world's
That is not okay.
Snowflake unicorn.
That is not okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, Ohm will go up and get the unicorn, and then you started to describe this thing with an alligator mouth and teeth, and I was like, Ohm is gonna hesitate on getting this unicorn, and then it ate a guy, and I was like, Ohm is gonna leave the unicorn alone on the dock. Yeah, that was bad.
God.
So that leads us to Katrina, who you kind of get stuck in the like dual character thing. I still have you up on screen as Raja because Raja was the last character that you had that went somewhere and did a thing. So.
Gotcha. I'm Katrina. I am playing Raja for downtime. Raja is an Aruvian scholar who hangs out with these guys to stop them from doing stupid stuff with ghosts. Doesn't always happen, but that's her thing.
Raja joined us after we did a colossally stupid thing with a ghost. We said we need something that will
We
solve these
might
problems.
want a whisper, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I also play Maribel Welker, who is the slide. She likes to collect secrets, especially yours. And she is the second in command for the crew.
Indeed. So
Yes.
we did a murder.
A heist.
We did a murder
It just
heist.
involved murder.
A heist of a
Yes.
soul.
Yeah, that's true.
We did steal the ghost.
We stole a
Steal a
soul
ghost.
right out of its living body.
No, it was dead. I wasn't allowed to
living
pull it out
anymore.
of its living
Yeah.
body.
Recently deceased.
Recently deceased body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name was Kess?
Costa.
Casta.
Kess is one of your NPCs.
Shit.
Yes. Cass is like your like assistant type person. Like
Oh, that's right.
that would be just the Duskfall Labor Board is going to have serious things to say.
Duskfall Labor Board.
I paid them off years ago. What are
Like
you
there's
talking
a
about?
labor board. I love it. So yeah. And now we're doing downtime. Is that right?
Yeah. Last time we lured Costa the bounty hunter into a warehouse because she had a bounty on Griffith, dead or alive, and Griffith's newly arrived in Duskfall wife, alive. And we lured her into a I don't remember what it was. It was a
Warehouse.
warehouse-ish type
Warehouse.
space.
Mhm.
Got her in there. Lots of shots fired. Very ugly scene that went on. But in the end, yeah, you guys got to like take her head, pop it into a hat box, and drop it off to Lissa and the crows.
I like that it was in a hat box.
It was in a bowling ball bag.
That's sorry.
Was
My
it a ball?
mistake.
There's
a bowling ball.
I was.
It was someone specifically said that. Yeah.
Okay, dang. A hat
So that
box
way you
is
just
so
kinda
classy, though.
Plop it. Well, the bowling ball bag is more in line with Lissa, I think. You just plop it on the table and you
Yeah.
unzip it, and it's like, "Hi,
Yeah.
I'm here."
Yeah, so we got a good bounty on that one. That was
We
nice.
did. We got
We're
Yeah.
not just starting any downtime. We are having a brunch, sir.
That's right.
Yes.
We are at the Welkers having a lovely swat of tea and a brunch and mimosas.
Yes. Around a table there in Welker Manor, Mrs. Creedon is probably coming around with like the little porcelain teapot and like topping off cups. And there's like mimosas.
What does a
Which
mimosa
which
look like
ha-
in Duskfall?
Right,
I was gonna
because there's
say
no like
if
oranges.
That's a
if
fruit.
it's an actual mimosa, then that is like a wildly expensive treat, right? Because like somebody had to have the money to pay to raise an orange tree and then juice it.
Then juiced the orange tree. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
What's the closest thing to a fruit that would
Mhm.
exist just
What
normally?
grows in the dark, right? Like
Is it just a juiced mushroom?
Ugh.
I know that sounds really
Ew.
bad, doesn't it?
Ugh.
it's a mud mosa, right? Like
Mudmosa.
We forgot an announcement,
Oh,
and that is it's Ethan's birthday. Happy birthday, Ethan.
that is not germane, but thank you. It is.
The chat tells
I
me
did it.
otherwise. The
I
chat
lived.
tells me otherwise.
I think the only thing I have to say about it being my birthday is I lived, bitch. I lived.
You saw right through 2020.
Despite my best efforts, I lived.
We made it. We made it
Made
another
it.
year. So yeah, I think that Ohm probably has like the first Mudmosa and has, like maybe done an eighth of it. Is like, no. Alcohol and Ohm probably not a good mix. Ohm is already loopy enough, I'm gonna say, that they don't imbibe very much alcohol.
I can
That
get behind
is
that.
fair.
Who else is anybody else in going for the mimosa scare instead of just like the tea?
If they're classier, then yes. Like I'm serving them, so they're probably
Oh,
decent.
yeah, no,
kind
I
of
mean like
mud-
they're a thing. Like they're not literally made out of mud, right? Like
Yeah.
but they are probably made out of like some sort of like a sparkling wine that's not necessarily grape,
Mm-hmm.
and like
What do they
maybe
make
like
wine out of?
Right.
I don't
There's
know.
You can
vampires.
make
You know there's
wine out of so
wine.
many things.
If there's
Yeah.
vampires, there's wine because
Dude,
they
you can
have
you
to
can
have like
ferment you can ferment anything.
Anything.
Almost anything
Oh,
can
yeah,
become a wine.
and then I think on top of it, it has like a little like float layer of like, um, it's like a macerated mushroom liqueur that like kind of ferments, and
It's a Duskwell delicacy.
Yeah.
yes,
I think with enough sweetener that could taste good. Like with enough stuff to make it
Gonna be
sweet,
okay.
it might be good.
There's a way, right? I mean, like yeast is
There's
a
a way.
fungus, and that's how alcohol works entirely. So like mushrooms in there,
They've had
I can see how it
1,000
can work.
years
To
to
figure
figure
this out.
this shit out.
Yeah,
They got
and they
it by
definitely
now.
needed alcohol. So
If anything, it's probably more something that would be based on like a grain rather than like a fruit, because like they're still making whiskey somewhere. It's like
Yeah,
mhm.
Demas always has that up his sleeve.
that's true. I do have just an
Yeah.
unlimited amount of whiskey.
He has stock in the whiskey company.
It cost me zero. I think it cost me zero load to pull that bottle of whiskey out whenever I want. Oh wait, no. Okay, it does cost me load, but I have it every time.
That's right.
It doesn't go away.
But yeah, and so Mrs. Creedon is probably doing toast, and Mr. Creedon is probably like, um, he's wheeled out the metal cart with like the thing where like you do like the whole like flambe thing on top. So like he's got something on fire over there. It's like, yeah, there's the
Mhm.
Welker Manor. They pull out all the stuff around here.
What we do for something like this.
This is how you celebrate murder.
Grell's probably not actually invited to brunch, but he's like walking by the room and kind of like, I don't know, they got drinks, that's gonna be that amount of money, and they're making those, that's gonna be that amount of money.
Oh,
Like,
he's
not
one
right
to
off.
penny pinch.
I
He's
know,
one to
right?
penny pinch.
Yes,
But you know he would.
Would you love to meet my brother?
I don't know.
Demas is gonna love him.
He's a real hoot, let me tell you, Demas.
Oh yeah,
It's
because
supposed to be downtime.
everything you're spending is money that he wants to go use to like pay off his debt to the guy who owns the soundtrack.
Too bad that he signed all that paperwork over to me, huh?
I know.
This is
right?
downtime. I can't exert myself like that. Maybe later.
I'll send him down to the fight pit, to talk to you at some point. How about that?
Yeah, when we get our Hull Fight Club set up.
Now,
No, I meant the actual like Skull and Fight Club thing that you.
Oh, that one too. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet if you put Grell and Ulf Ironborn into the ring together, only one of them's coming out, and we know it's not going to be Grell. Like,
It wouldn't even be on purpose.
oh no.
Ulf would just be like, oh, oops.
Oops.
I don't even know if it would actually involve violence. I think Ulf would just like get like halfway through the first hit, and Grell would just like have a heart attack and die.
His
so
weak
Oh,
dandy
oh,
constitution.
yeah.
This is the constitution of a dandy.
Of a dandy. I love it.
So everything turned out. You all look extremely hurt, but the job was done.
Indeed. Ohm would, whoever has the soul in the bottle should probably.
Demas still has that in his
Okay.
pocket.
Yeah, Ohm would indicate to Demas and say, we left the scene with a valued prize.
Yeah, and Demas is way too casual with these little spirit bottles, which I'm sure just sets Raja on edge all the time because he's just like tossing it. He's got to be like a little condescending with all of his mannerisms, but so he just kind of like is tossing it. He's like, yes, we did come out quite well, I think.
Could there be a point where he is tossing it and Raja just takes it? Just like takes it from him? Like
She could try.
you've lost your spirit bottle privileges.
It's just
Maybe
like
she
it's
would.
any other little jar of jam, and you're just tossing it kind of deal. Like,
No. I think
just,
if he was doing,
if it
if he
breaks,
was
it
tossing it
explodes.
about,
Yeah.
if he was tossing it about, even casually, Raja would take it back.
It's it's one of those like this far above the hand kind of situations. Like you just toss. It's not going there.
And would he let Raja take it anyways? And then we get to see that fight happen.
Yeah. That would be
Legitimately would have chucked the deuces on that fight and went, all right, I'm too shot up to deal with you two. I'm out.
I think it would just be Raj would just be met with like this look of like incredulity. Like I cannot believe that has occurred.
Ohm would say that the target did not go easily. Many of us suffered during that engagement, but we did win, and relatively quietly, I think.
She had some kind of spider umbrella.
Yes, I desperately want to understand this thing.
Me too. It's kind of on brand.
It is for
Spider
us.
umbrella.
It
moved.
She drew a normal umbrella and closed it, and then the covering of it leapt off of her staff. I thought it was one of those cane numbers. She was going to hit us with it. Instead, the umbrella itself began to animate and move, and it attacked Ghost here.
When me.
And Demas.
Demas would just point to the multiple punctures in the torso, just like, yeah, it got me a bit too.
That sounds like a fabulous invention, though. I'd quite like something like that.
Wouldn't we all? I gathered the pieces that were not destroyed, and I hope to understand it further.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll get Kess on that.
So what's our next move then?
We have kind of freed up our schedule, haven't we?
Do we get back on track with real work?
Does anyone have any other personal crises they want to bring to the table before we?
None that we can handle right now.
We do have the whole ongoing Skurlock Satara situation, but I think that we can afford to leave that one for a job or two, maybe.
I have made substantial progress on the masks. They now, as you all have experienced, they can communicate with one another when paired. If the two of them have matching fetishes, they can speak with one another. And the faces work and the voices disguise works. There's one last item that was requested of us from our patron, and that was that the masks could be keyed to an item, like a door would unlock when the mask was near, or the mask would react in some sort of fantastic way when it was close to a sacred object of some kind. That project has not begun yet, but as we near the completion of the masks, there was a mention earlier that we should discover who our patron is before handing them over. And recently, I was visited by Satara, and then I was summoned by her, and I went to visit, and she also deigns to understand who our patron is. So there are beyond our own interests and our own self-preservation needs. Seems that she also is curious who wants the technology that we are developing. And we can decide if we want to provide that information, but either way, it seems like gathering that would be beneficial to us.
Yes. I will say I am also poised uh, quite well at the moment to seize some level of control over the Scotland consulate. So whenever we have a spare moment to maybe get that done, that would be, I would appreciate it certainly, and imagine there's a good bit of coin to be made as well, having that much sort of political power
Um,
on the table.
Vraja would speak up. There's a problem with the ghosts in the ghost field currently. That is something that I'm going to look into. I don't know if there's a profit in it, but it is something that is worrying that we should be aware of.
What is it that you're seeing?
Nothing, which is a problem.
Oh, how is
Normally
that a
there
problem?
normally there would be activity around and within the city, within Crow's Nest. Um, even residual traces, and that is not happening right now, which is cause for concern. Um, and something that I will look further into and let you know.
Okay. Are you the only one in our crew that is adept at seeing and interacting with ghosts?
I think Griffith is able to as well. And then I know some members of the group possess the ability to look into the ghost field. Maybe not interact so much, but look within.
I think the whole crew
Yeah,
can to some
everybody
extent.
can if you try, and then I know
Okay.
that crew wide there is that special ability that I
Here
don't
we have that
know.
advancement.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to say, but in RP terms.
Rick
This
just
is
gets that crap. Come on.
there's an ability that has not interested Ohm yet, so Ohm has not tried it. Yeah. Um, okay. If there is, I've recently come into the capability of attracting ghosts to an area. If that would be helpful to you in some way, I could set about the effort of doing that. I'll just
Like,
ping the ability I've got.
when did you learn that?
It seemed appropriate, given our recent task of trying to capture a ghost. I thought, well, if we didn't get her, maybe we could get another one. But then it didn't matter because we ended up killing her and taking her ghost. So it was of little benefit. But I tried to prepare myself with some new talents.
I
And,
mean,
Useful.
and of course, we can't forget dear Larina's pet. Is that an appropriate term? Pet? Companion?
You know, warrior, horse, you know.
War. Okay.
Yeah.
War mount, perhaps. That's a problem, but it's
That, well,
a
not
bigger
really.
problem.
It's like Ghost leans up and he's like, "That's why I said nothing that we can handle right now because I don't know how to deal with Skurlock yet."
So
Yes.
uh, it is worth mentioning on that note that every stone of power that Skurlock gains could be levied against us at this stage. We have
You mean
betrayed him, and you know, I don't think that he would hesitate to exact some kind of punishment upon us when the time is befitting him. And unicorns are incredibly rare and magical beasts. They possess energies that could be used in some dark ways. Um, and we know that Skurlock has ambitions for powerful, destructive capabilities. So while I agree we can't deal with it yet, it's something that we shouldn't rest on if we learn of an opportunity.
The thing that gives me pause is the alliances we'll likely have to make to deal with that problem and the entanglements those will bring. Because I don't see us as a crew handling that on our own any time in the foreseeable future, and we certainly don't have that much time.
I think we should talk to Ohm's little girlfriend. I mean, she hasn't burnt us yet.
She has no
That's-
girlfriend. Not yet.
That is also who I was preferred to, the lady in black. If
I spoke with her briefly, and she, unlike some of the other demons of the city, does not have a cult that worships her or gives her power in any way. It seems that she has agreements with some individuals, and at least from her incredible and demonic perspective, those agreements seem to be mutually beneficial. I don't know what that means, but at the very least, she doesn't have a cult of worshippers that would cause us that kind of problem. If we wanted to have a stronger relationship with her, maybe that's something we could explore. But
is that something you would prefer?
me, no. I think that my relationship with Satara is separate than that. But if we as a group need it because we have earned the ire of Skurlock, then it's possible.
Maybe she knows how to kill a vampire.
Perhaps.
They've lived in tandem here for so long. She probably would have already done it if she could.
Maybe she hasn't found the right fool to do it.
I think we first need to find out what he plans to do with the unicorn. If we can, maybe he's just putting it in a menagerie. Maybe he's using it for dark powers. I don't know. I don't want to just rush in there not knowing.
Agreed.
Also, it probably gets us no coin and no standing in the city to go after this unicorn.
Depends on who we ally ourselves with, but you make a point. We are a little broke at the point at this. Well, not really. Where are we at? Out of character.
We're
we got
always broke.
We're at always broke. No, we got
always broke.
we don't have enough. We don't have enough to tier up in power.
Right.
All of our money is spoken for.
Yeah.
In Maribel's opinion, we're always broke.
Because we're not like mega wealthy like Maribel once was.
Yeah.
Okay, so uh, we have a number of initiatives, right? We want to understand who the patron is. We have Milos. You have not Milos. My apologies. Demas. You have a lever to pull, and would need our help in doing so. We have a unicorn to look into. We have ghosts to look into, and we have a amateur hole fighting ring to look into as well, which maybe is a longer term item, admittedly, but also not something I
Raja,
want to
If
sleep
we
on.
have the time.
Raja just shakes her head at that. Just
uh, are there any other items?
I think that about sums it up.
mhm.
Well, this has been lovely. I have an appointment to keep. I'll probably be seeing you later for, the stab wounds. But
Always here when you need me for the stab wounds, Demas.
Good day, Demas.
Demas will head out to go about his business.
Ohm is gonna look to Griffin, say, are you ready now? I'll go get my apron.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Let's not do it here in the
Yeah.
breakfast room.
Yeah, I think Mr. Creedon will be like, if you gentlemen need me to prepare a room, then I
Yes,
can set
please
aside.
do.
Yeah.
The in the kitchen where you prepare the food, that's a sufficiently large table. That would do just fine.
No.
How about I go prepare the guest room? Like
One of the
guest
smaller
rooms.
ones, one of the
Yeah.
ones that's not used often.
The
Go
one
with
that
Mr.
has the
Creighton.
extra
Open.
canvas tarps in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Go with Mr. Creighton, please. Thank you, gents.
I grabbed the whiskey bottle or whatever the rest. I was like, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. I'm gonna need this.
It's one of Demas's, so
Oh,
Oh,
good. Then it can disinfect. Excellent. Come
yes,
this way.
excellent. As he takes a swig, excellent.
and then
Alright.
Maribel just looks at Griffith's wife and is like, more mimosa. Would you like another one?
I think she will smooth her hair back between her horns and the top, and it still has that kind of semi pompadour look, so that it kind of like blends the horns into the back, so it like kind of like rises up and goes back. Yes, that sounds lovely.
That would be the correct response.
Raja will also leave to go take care of some things.
Okay. Yes, then we can kick over and do some downtime. Um, so if Maribel is the only one who has the thing that like gives her like an extra downtime action, isn't
Has
Someone
that
else
one as
does
well.
too. Yeah, does.
does too? Okay.
I have something. I don't think I took that one.
I can give an extra downtime
Oh,
action to
I also
myself or
have
anybody.
that.
Yeah.
We also
I also
So-
have that now. I
So
picked that
we
up
as a
last session.
crew, yeah, we as a crew all have extra. All of us have downtime actions, and then plus 2 more of
Right
mine
now.
They
and
did spread
Demos's.
around.
Yeah, and anytime
when-
Maribel's also on downtime, it'll be 3
Third.
extra downtime.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man.
What's that one called again? I might just snatch that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
as
go-
well.
Calculating.
Yeah,
It's
go
from my play.
go get yourself veteran calculating, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I'm gonna I have to start up in the harbor then if it's gonna like do any good. But hope you guys down.
What are you
You
talking
have
about? I
to-
haven't been able to heal after 2 downtimes. I still haven't been able to heal.
We got to get that momentum rolling,
We
dude.
good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Also, you just got to make us go to war, so we only get 1 downtime action.
Hey, Mike, could you potentially quickly hit me with the healing rules or where they are in the book?
Let me see. if
Roll
I have-
heal. Mike tells you how many dice to do it, and then you don't get to heal.
That's why I'm trying to figure out the
You have to crit. You have to crit to get a heal in one.
the healing over time is what
So
I'm.
here's
Oh.
like the toughing it out type rules about not
Mhm.
seeking a doctor. Okay. Yeah, I can find where that's at. I think I can find where that's at. It's always in somewhere that's like weird, like not where you're actually looking for it.
Yeah, it's not in downtime activities. So
While you guys do that, do you mind if we go ahead and rock out Ohm healing Griffin?
Griffith,
Griffith.
yeah,
Griffith.
do it.
Griffith, you get 4 dice, sucker.
Here comes all the ones.
Don't roll ones. Do better than that. Yeah. Oma's gonna take you into the back room. We're gonna use that whiskey to, anesthetize the area or sterilize it. And then Om is going to like dip their fingers in the whiskey and then dip them in like a pool of water and in their hands and then get to work on fixing you up. Hey, a 6. Solid.
Yeah, so a 6 is 3 ticks on the healing clock.
I have no money.
Oh, I think
I
we
always
said there
forget,
was some in the crew that you could take if you needed it.
Oh, that's right. You could have 1 to get that. Yeah. So if you take 1, that'll turn that into a crit, and then
Cool. I will
Probably
do
a
that.
little bit.
You take one what? One stress? Wait, what?
1 coin.
1 coin from the crew stash.
Oh,
So that'll put us down to 10 coin.
I will put
Yeah,
that away.
then all of your coin, all of your coin goes away. Now all of your harm moves down 1 row on the tracker. Right, so your level 2
Awesome.
harm becomes level 1 harm for both of them.
What do I want to call this? Stitches. Scars.
yeah. Because you know that stuff doesn't heal straight. Not when Ohm's on it.
It's
Appreciate
game over
it,
when
Griff.
somebody gets injured on their neck.
Oh yeah, no. Ohm's like,
Because
well,
I'm just gonna be like, what it?
I don't know how to do with this. This is not
like-
my physiology. I'm just gonna.
Why is all your stuff on the inside?
You want stuff on the inside? Where's
Also, I
the?
did find the tough it out rules, and I posted those in the Discord chat.
thank you.
It's 1 stress and a 0 die roll to try to recover like naturally without going to a doctor.
What's that? I'll be like, I'll take another swig of the whiskey. Be like, you want some? Cuz you did a good job on this one.
I think
Of course.
Mr. Creedon has just like come back into the doorway and he sees you guys like drinking mid process and he'll kind of like go a little bit pale and like one arm is like all stacked up with towels and then the other one he has like a fresh kettle of like boiled water and like I'll just set these over here I guess and like puts them down and like leaves. He's like thought you guys would wait for proper supplies but apparently that's not how it works here.
They had proper supplies.
No,
Where, sir, where we're from, it's fine.
I
He's
found this
best.
bowl on the ground next to the bed, and I used that to carry all the stuff.
Like that's for the later. We'll talk later. Like just sets the stuff down on the nightstand or on top of like a cabinet and like excuses himself.
We are brutish.
You know,
Capital B.
it's a cultural thing. We don't know about all these finery.
Right.
You know.
All we've known is
I don't
war
recognize a
and
bedpan when I see one. Yeah, that's
No. It's what you have the hole in the outside. That's what that's for. Why would you have a pan in the room? That's dumb. Go outside to your hole.
All I can think of is the old Upright Citizens Brigade skit about like the hole in the sheet. That's you guys know that. I'll find it when we go on break because it's a classic. Anyway,
I
moving on.
think I want to know that.
It is a
It's
classic.
actually it is really funny, but anyway. Yes, so you all of your harm comes down from level 2 to level 1 there for you, Griffith. Who's up? Who's on first? Or Griffith, are you gonna try to do your other downtime action, or do we want to
I mean,
pop off
if
to
anybody
do a
else,
scene with somebody else? Yeah.
I mean, I can do it real
Does
quick.
anybody else know what they're doing for downtime actions?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give it.
Yeah, I
give it
know
to
what
you.
2 of mine aren't, but
Okay. We'll
I'll step back.
we'll come around here. We'll make our way back. Yeah.
The
I've
first
got
one
my little
is
check boxes. Keep track.
my first one is trying to get healed by someone, possibly someone that's associated with the crew. That is not
Damn it. Does good
Melver.
work. Does good work.
Yeah, there's
There's no
Melver the
one.
Physiker. There is Quelling.
Sawtooth.
She's not gonna manage to like reset a broken nose, but she'll manage to like give you something that like you'll be okay with it. Healing through and stuff.
Does any okay? So metagaming. Does
There's
anyone roll 4
Sawtooth.
dice,
Om.
or is that just
Just
Yeah.
Raja will
Everybody else will get 3 dice.
Raja will begrudgingly go to
Excellent. As you walk into the room, and there's that steaming pot over to the side and the towels, and Om will say, "Oh, excellent, Raja, will you grab that and bring that over here?"
Sure.
And then Om will like proceed to clean the towel that they use to like sop up the blood out of out of Griffith. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that I had returned everything to its proper
She
cleanliness.
takes one of the clean towels for herself. Would I, as you are aware, I broke my nose. It hurts. It's swollen. And I hope that could you help me and fix it?
We certainly could. Yes. Tell you what. Take a seat right here on this bed. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then like takes the towel and like covers up Griffith's blood on the bed. It's like there you go. Now it's clean.
You also won't I won't be able to have you put your hands directly on my face. The towel will need to be placed over it.
Oh. How peculiar. Okay.
It's an Aruvian thing.
Is it really?
It is now.
It is now. Cool. Om says, completely understood. This room is full of surprises, and so are the Ruvians. So, by all means, here, let me have that towel. And then
the very clean towel.
Yeah, Om dips it in the water with the that I used to clean the towel from earlier.
She tried so hard.
Rubs in.
I tried so hard.
Some healing spit, and gives your nose a look. Go ahead and do your healing roll. 4 dice.
Are we just what do I roll? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, right above the health tracker is healing.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I've not pressed that button before.
Go for 4 dice and you're good.
No, I'm not.
You still get something, just not.
Yeah, it's 2 ticks on the clock.
You've not gotten injured before.
Not like this, no. Maribel's gotten injured.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. So those go away at the end of the session, right?
The ticks in your progress clock will stay. They will get lost if you do another score and you get hit. Like if you take harm, then anything that was on the healing clock will go away.
Do you guys need all of your actions? All 3?
I was
might
going
have
to
an
use
extra one.
I was going to use some stuff, but we'll see at the end. I'm curious about like what our heat is like at the end.
Okay.
And if I can do a little bit more mask progress.
Okay, then I'll hold to do any other actions for now, because I need to try and get that 1d minus off.
Ohm is going to indulge their vice.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the markets and go on a bit of a shopping spree. Talk to the other various, well-to-do folk about fabrics and about rare items and all that good stuff.
Yeah, check out the rooftop market and like pop by Ojek's stall and that kind of thing.
Yep. I don't have anything for Ojek prepared, or Ojek prepared.
Yeah.
I think, though, I think that Ohm would probably spend a good deal of time, because it has been a while since Ohm has had a chance to just sit and mingle. The last couple of trips have been very like business-like,
Yeah.
and I think that this time Ohm will sit down and tell stories of the old world, maybe practice high Taikarosi, right? Or yeah, high or honorific Taikarosi with Ojak. That kind of thing might be really pleasant for him.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ojek is there. Um, Ojek is probably like kind of dressed sort of like Maribel, right? Like kind of like Akarosi sort of fancy-ish dress,
Oh,
except um, when Ojek is wearing it, it's a lot of like dark, like blood red brocade fabric and like super, super black velvet. And she does still have like the veil covering
sure.
her face.
Yeah.
Um, she's got like long black gloves on. When you arrive, you know, got
Yeah, I
something.
think I think that Ohm today is probably going to be in like a black dress with red and white flowers on it. Like once they arrive and can take off their coat and reveal the outfit for the day, it'd be like this, like silk black with flower print all over it.
Nice.
Um, and cool, and just enjoy my time there as much as I can with Ojak. Okay, uh,
That's
4 come
fair.
off the top, so that's good. I can live with that. Awesome.
Um, yeah, I think you're there and you have the conversation and you like, Ojek has slightly better pronunciation than you in like the kind of like, ye olde Taikarosi language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think towards the end, when you're probably getting ready to leave, uh, she'll ask if you've been practicing because you've been in conversation with someone.
Ohm would probably blush. Yeah, I think Ohm would blush at that, and kind of demur, and not say anything further.
I think she would just get that like you can see the big smile that goes all the way back with like the little tiny needle
Mm-hmm.
teeth. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, okay. Kind of go back about her business. It's like, it's been nice seeing you. Like somebody else kind of wanders in. It's like, people with
Perfect.
my name customer that.
Neat. Neat. I wonder if Ojak knows the Lady in Black. That would be interesting. Okay, new project for Ohm to consider.
Um,
Relationship mapping.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, can we actually add a clock for Ohm of like, uh, try and learn if Ojak has a connection with the Lady in Black or Satara?
yeah, I know.
That might be something that I dedicate some of Ohm's time to.
Let's grab maybe we back that one out just a little bit.
Sure.
Um, and just kind of make that like, learn more about like Ojak's allegiances kind of deal.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
Find a place to put it. Here.
Nothing quite like snooping in on your Vice's proprietor to get to keep your Vice.
So you can't go wrong at all. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Another clock there. Grab that. Cool. Um, so we haven't seen where Demons has gone off to yet.
Yeah, I think he was gonna go. He's kind of got a day of it planned, I think, because he needs to go reduce heat for the crew. Also needs to indulge his vice and then see about some healing. So, but he wanted to do the healing last, just in case any new bumps or bruises popped up. be ashamed to get healed and then go to the grotto and get all banged up again.
Wake up with just a big black eye again. Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's gonna reduce heat first because
Okay.
that's the thing he needs to be presentable for. Yeah, and I guess maybe this time the reducing heat is just some cleanup in and around where we did the score. Since it's in our hunting grounds, you would want to make sure that like all the broken crates have been disposed of, and you know
Blood
it looks
up.
it doesn't look like a murder scene inside.
Yeah.
Um,
So what's an action score to tie
I
that
think
to?
I think maybe like prowl, right? Because he's trying to like move unseen and clean things up on the sly.
Okay.
Maybe it's kind of. I think
You
that's
can
what I'm
find that.
angling for there. So that is. Do we have anything for heat? I don't think so.
Um,
I
there's
don't think I
5
have
heat
anything for
on the
heat.
crew. Here we
We have
want
stuff that helps
10.
us like manage our entanglements, but nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Is
not
it
something
Maribel that has the heat thing?
Yeah, and it's a Maribel. I don't think it's a crew.
Gotcha.
It's a Maribel thing.
Yeah, no worries there then. So I'll just roll those 3 dice for my fortune roll. And we'll call this heat. Okay, so a 4.
Yeah, so I think that's 2 of. Yeah, reduce heat 4. 5 is 2. So
Cool.
that brings
So
the
that's
cruise
something.
heat. Yeah, that brings the cruise heat down to 3.
Is that enough for us? Down to 3, is that good enough?
3 is the bottommost tier of results. Like when there's that entanglement chart, 1 to 3 is like the lowest. Like
Gotcha.
sites
So,
on
but if we take a
That-
score, we're gonna be up to four or more because you always get some kind of heat.
Yeah, and so if we get 6 heat, that'll max us out, which I believe if it's a particularly explosive score is well within our
explosive
no,
score.
no,
we'll
we
just
have
say it's happened before.
we have the masks now. We have the masks that let us wear other
Okay.
people's faces. We have all kinds of
Right,
things
okay.
that we're not we haven't started using yet to help us reduce heat. But okay. I'm trying to talk myself into or out of also taking care of some heat.
Yeah. We'll see. So we're sitting.
Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to start it on round 2 here? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller?
So looking at the masks, I think Ohm is going to ask or try and get Kess to work on where's the hull? We need the design for the hull. Did we complete that?
No, there was repair the Biosilcat hull, and then there's one for like
That's right.
create full schematics.
That's
They're,
right.
like,
Where's that?
down at
Oh,
the bottom.
Kess. Yeah, okay. So I do want to make sure that Kess continues to work on repairing the hull.
Okay. I think based on one of the ones we were looking at last time in terms of an upgrade somewhere, I think having Kess do the thing is something that's supposed to be somebody else's downtime action too. Because like
Okay.
there was another special ability that was like they're independent and do a thing.
Oh. Gotcha. So it's gonna okay, gotcha. So we need to make sure that all right, then I guess doing the mask and having Kess help me with the mask is more important than doing the hull. Because I do want her to be independent enough to work on the hull without taking our actions. But for now, I'll just have her help me with getting the mask paired with items.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I just posted the that other special ability in the chat. It was just one version, but things fair enough.
During downtime, one of your cohorts may perform a downtime activity for the crew. Okay.
Okay, so we'll just pick that one up next.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Man,
Actually, I'll write that in on the crew sheet that we want that one next.
thank you.
Okay.
All right. So Tinker, right?
Yes.
Standard effect.
Yeah.
I don't think any bonus die. You know. Well, does Kess give me a bonus die? Is that how it works?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Who? Okay. Well, I'm glad she pitched in because we didn't do so great today, but we did some.
Yeah, so a 4 is still a partial success, so there is still 2 ticks on that clock. Work on the pairing.
Yep. Oh,
Wait,
and
you were working on the pair. Was
yeah,
that working on the
item
mask
pairing.
pairing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, working on the masks to pair them with items. And real quick, just to remind you, Mike, there was an interaction with Ohm and what was the guy's name?
Tuhan?
Tuhan. Yeah.
Yes.
And Ohm had mentioned to Tuhan that he should visit the shop because I had gotten the voice stuff working. Since Tuhan ran into me. I don't know if you intend for that to happen tonight, but just to remind
Yeah,
you.
we can have that happen tonight. Yeah. Kind of
What
Tuhan
was
and
the
Cinder pay another visit.
what were we able to use the Leviathan blood for?
So the Leviathan blood is used to make lure traditionally, which is a street drug. But it also has other properties. We just haven't assigned it to a project yet to unlock the cool stuff that it can do.
Yeah. I just saw that there. It's like, what were we using that for?
We just have Leviathan
Were
blood.
we
We
just got it
were just
chilling. We got this
checking.
big bowl.
Yeah, it's this
Blood.
big sealed glass beaker with like a little spigot on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not even just that you have Leviathan blood. It's you have the special Leviathan blood that's been treated by exposure to this weird gem that's somewhere out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably go get that at some just for funsies.
For
We
fun.
got a lot of things.
Yeah. We'll just do that as a downtime action. Just go acquire item.
Acquire an asset, a Leviathan's eye.
Yeah. Acquire asset, Leviathan's eye. Major plot point item. Yeah. So okay, cool. Worked on the mask. And yeah, I don't mean to like force a conflict with Tuhan, but I didn't want us to lose on that because that is one of the things that I was gonna try and use to get Ohm to follow that guy later on after
Yeah.
his visit to the shop.
Yeah, no, and I know that's come up. So let's definitely make sure that there's a point. And we can probably do it at the end of like let everybody have their downtime actions and do that so that it's like the free play, exploring the city, going around doing real things that can have consequences kind of deal.
Okay. Yeah, so those are the two things I needed to get done. I have a third item that I'd like to get done, but I'll wait and see how everybody else is and if we need it or not.
What's Griffith up to? Because I know you had something else on the line, I think.
Well, I got 9 stress. Griff's feeling good, right? He's feeling like, the unicorn is a problem, but the biggest monkey off his back is him and his wife being hunted. For now. So he's feeling good. And he's like, you know what? I'm feeling lucky. And he'll be like, I'm gonna head on down and he's gonna do his dice game with Spog. He showed up, he was in a little bit of a bad mood, so he may or may not have went into Demus's stash, snatched a whiskey bottle out, and he's gonna go give it to the bartender because he's kind of in a bad mood the last time, and he figures, hey man, I was in a bad mood, things didn't go the way I wanted. This is some top shelf stuff. I'll bring it as a peace offering to you, sir. He puts it on the bar.
Cobb will probably like look at you and be like, "All right, that's real nice of you. You know, this is going behind the bar. This isn't something I'm selling. You come in,
As you
we'll
do.
have a glass. This is a special bottle."
Understood.
Like
We'll
gets out a
pour.
pair of glasses and pours one for each of you, and like kind of like, and,
All right. Is the game going?
oh, game's always going.
All right.
Spog's back there.
And he walks in and be like, Spog, however you say it, because he's been drinking all day. He had like 4 of the mimosas, and then he drank like a half a bottle as Ohm is pulling bullets out of his shoulder. He's like, so. He's
Well, the
like,
good news is that the bullet wound has stopped leaking the like luminescent fluid, so like yeah, it's
yeah,
good. Fine.
it's good. He's like, who's ready to lose some money?
Like Spog, who like runs the game, will probably kind of like get a big grin and like a little chuckle. Like, don't matter to me. House always makes their cut. Have a seat, right?
All right. Now watch me roll straight garbage. uh, how many? I forget how this works.
There should be an indulge vice button on your character sheet.
Yeah, it says bonus dice. I forget.
I think usually we don't really do bonus dice on
Yeah.
most of the dice rolls.
Can I make an argument that I brought a little trinket, maybe a special whiskey to get that extra hit.
Brought
Go
my
like that.
special
Dice
whiskey.
roll.
you know, feel the extra lucky.
Oh my god. Savage.
Sure.
Just
sure.
asking. All right, hey, we're gonna give me one.
All you guys have to do is learn how to derive
It was only a one
enjoyment
anyway. You
from,
would have been fine with 5 or 6. That's
you guys just have to learn to do Demus's type of, stress relief, and then, he gets to help you with your rolls. Just no one likes, my brand of fun. It's disappointing.
Maybe next. He'll join you next time. So yeah, he's just having a good time, taking money, and he'll start heading back towards the hideout. Or have we? Because the hideout set up out of character, would Lorena be at the hideout or still at Welker's Manor?
that's probably up for debate if you need her to be somewhere specific. I mean, Welker Manor is accessible, but it's not your actual hideout. So whichever place you really gotta.
Honestly, after we've killed Casta, because the only reason why she was there is because we didn't know if Casta knew where we were at. So it was like, so I would probably actually see if she wanted to go back to the greatest hideout in the place in the whole borough, from the mansion to the broke house.
Yeah, we can have. Do we want to do a little scene with like Casta arriving and looking around the lair as we have like because we're also going to have another scene at the lair where we have like Cinder and Tulan coming by to check in on everybody's progress and stuff. Do want to
Yeah,
do that when we get through downtime for everybody?
yeah, sure.
Good. Okay. Um, Trina, are you still here, or should we move on? Should we have Demas tell us what else he's doing?
Let's do Demas.
I'm here. I'm here. But I am waiting. Whatever. Fine, camera. I'm waiting to see if I can get an extra action from one of the guys. So
Okay.
I will wait.
I don't
So
think I
you
have
want to
enough
hold
to
off on
give.
your second one?
Yeah, let's hold off. Even if I won't get a second one, I'll just hold for a second.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Demas, you're the next one that has like a regular action left.
Yeah, it's that special time of evening where Demus likes to go drink acid water and see shit
Yes.
weird. So I think that's where we're
Yes.
Okay. Right, we get the whole scene of like showing up at the grotto with like a hooded proprietor who's like, I think this one's probably like they're really skinny and they're kind of short, and you figure it's probably like an emaciated teenager under the hood this time. But they sell you the little nub of candle and like let you go about your way down into the basement anyway. Um, where you can sit on the slab and down your little pot of acid water. Um, and I think kind of like along the far side of the room, and then the around the other walls of the room that like you're facing, right? They all kind of like blaze to light, and it's like you realize it's like seeing the lightning wall. And then everything looks really tiny. You realize like you're looking at like the lightning wall, but like it's all scaled down to fit kind of in this room. And you can see like little buildings and stuff like that. And there's like this one huge hulking monstrosity thing like crossing out across that aqueduct. And it's the same thing that you saw last time, where it's like the big knight type dude with like the flaming sword and like the ghost bomb over his shoulder. Um, and you see it reaches like the far side of the aqueduct by where the wall is, and something, a small figure, like hovers up out of the water. Um, and as it opens its mouth, there's like a shrieking noise, and that's when you think, oh, that kind of looks like Maisley. And then there's a big explosion as it like smacks her with the ghost bomb. And then like all of the lightning wall goes out, like it kind of like ripples outward from there, shutting down. And you wake up in an alley cellar. So,
Bodes well. Relaxing.
only
Yes,
exactly
let's
the
clear
kind of
stress.
nice, yeah.
Let's clear stress after
That
that.
clear stress doesn't add stress.
Okay, so I don't have any bonus dice, but I do get to adjust my result, which I don't need to, because I only had 4 stress.
Perfect.
So look at me go. Apparently that did a very good job. I am now stress-free.
Now you may end up with an extra trauma eventually, but
Right. I think the relief of stress comes from having all that information to work with.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, now we're ready.
Hmm.
Because he's had, like, all of these visions have had some analog in real life. So, and they're getting more lucid, it seems. It's just like, okay, well, all right. Okay, well, that's my second one.
all right. So yeah, we still have Demas, you still have your extra Ohm, you still have your extra, and Raji, you still have a standard one.
Yeah, do we need the crew heat to go down further?
I think let's just take it easy on our next score, and we can wait.
Okay. Then I also wanted to work on the hulls. What else do people want to work on?
I have to use mine for healing.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
mine
is-
is to finish healing and to do some research, but I'll just go ahead and do my research and not worry about the healing.
So
If that's okay.
which research are you trying to do? Because is it
It's to find out. Oh, I want to find out information about the ghost problem.
okay? Because that may be an investigation thing.
Why do I keep picking things that aren't downtime actions but are investigation things, guys? Why? Why do I keep doing that?
We're trying to help. Trying to help.
No, I
right?
appreciate it. I completely appreciate it. Then I would just like to get more healed. And can't do
So
that
yeah.
again, right?
No. Let's spread it around. Come on.
Let's say that he
Uh,
set my nose, but now it just hurts like a pain in the ass, like a bunch.
like it does.
And
Okay.
like it does.
Get-
I mean, I
get-
don't know, but
Getting your nose reset doesn't feel great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like Raj's nose is probably like straight again, but like your whole face
So
is probably bruised and like black
so
eyes and like the
swollen.
whole deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have missed Quellen so much, and I feel like it's time to bring her back.
Okay.
So I would like to go to Quellen's quaffs,
You're going to go visit
Quick
Quality
quality
Quality Quaffs.
quality quaffs.
Oh God, there she is.
There
Yeah.
she is.
She just looked right at me.
Don't
That-
surprise us like that, Mike.
That
That's how you know it's a good piece of art. The eyes follow you around the room.
she's just judging your very being. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Ethan.
She is.
She's like, you got a B in 7th grade math, and I will never forgive you for that.
It was 5th grade math.
5th grade math.
I never got another one. Okay, ever.
It's Quillen there, making you better than
Yeah.
who you are.
Oh
It
yeah.
was that and the like 3 months of being grounded I got from my parents.
Rough.
Tight ship. It was a tight ship.
Yeah, rough.
Now I know where Milos comes from.
Yes.
I was gonna say. Anyway,
Oh.
yes, I will walk into Quellen's.
Quoen's Quick Quality Quaffs
Quick
here
quality
in,
quaffs.
in 6 Towers, I think it is. But
Everything's in 6 Towers.
6 Towers is where we need to be.
All right, that's where we need to break into.
Yeah. Yeah, you open open the door. There's like the little bell at the top.
I thought Owen had
Just-
fixed that.
She fixed it back.
It's
You hear a voice.
It's the war of the bell, is what it is. It's like a constant conflict between us.
Yes. You hear the voice out of the back. It's like, oh, 1 minute moment, dear. I'll be wide out.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll look around just to see what she has going on.
Yeah, I mean, she's got like various things up in little jars on the shelf and like little notes. There's also like a small table for like you can sit at with like 2 people to have tea that has like kind of a cracked ceramic vase and like some like it's just bent over and wilted and like totally dried into that position flowers. Like, um, but she'll come back out and she's got like a kind of filthy rag and she's like drying her hands off. Like, oh, hello, dear. What can I get for you? What seems to be your problem?
It was recommended to me that you might be able to help with the pain and swelling that I have in my face.
Like, oh, yes, dear. Well, I mean, I didn't want to say anything out of turn, but yes, dear, I believe I can find something that will help you with that.
Thank you so much.
She's so polite.
Quellen or
Quellen, she's so proper, for being who she
Quellen.
is. She's so proper.
Yes. Yeah, she will probably she finds this like little tiny teapot and she like puts some hot water in it and she's like, okay, well we'll need a sprig of this and she kind of like takes something, she crunches it up into the pot. Like, some of this and like grates a little nut into the pot and like, a drop out of this dropper of like such and such eye and such thing. And she'll kind of like come and she'll like, oh, have a seat at the little table there, dear. And she'll have like this little thing, and it's on a saucer, and she brings it over the table, and she'll sit down. She'll sit down on the other side of the table, and it's like this little saucer with this little tiny teapot. And she just sets it on the table.
okay, and
There probably like there are like little teacups around the table, and like
Mhm.
you might like try to reach for one, and then she'll be like, oh no, dear, it's not a teapot, it's a netting. You pour it into yours.
that sounds like it would be horrible, Mike.
I don't
It's
know
all
why
hot.
people do these things. Yes.
It's all hot and full of like
It's
full
all
of, like,
warm and it's
herbs.
like, yeah, like crushed up
particulates.
little crushed tiny flowers. It's like,
Heaven help you if any of that stuff is spicy, right?
Plus the water is probably hot enough to not have that whole like amoebic infection that like gets into people's brains. You know, it's fine. I'm sure
Whose
it's fine.
brains?
It's probably
Who would?
There was somebody somewhere
Yeah.
at some point where that happened. They were using a neti pot with water that had like amoebas in it, and it
Oh yeah.
attacked
Oh.
their brain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, that's why you're not
That's a
supposed
thing.
to use tap water. Don't use tap water with
Right.
Don't use tap water.
Right.
Just saying.
Distilled.
Mm-hmm.
Distilled water.
Yes.
You know, for a moment there, it's like, oh, this is so much more pleasant than
And then it took a dramatic turn for the
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
you get an annoying like infection that will pass, but like this is like some prions in your brain.
just wait till we find out
Um,
it's actually made with like steam level like rubbing alcohol and water, right? Like it's. I don't know.
Raja will stoically do this thing, sadly. This character sheet.
She'll also fish around in her pocket and take out like that like kind of filthy rag so that you can like kind of like do it in one
Guys,
side and
why
have it when the
can't
water
people
drains
have
out.
clean things? What is your
Water is black, and you can see stars in it. How would they clean? What is clean?
Like it's okay. It's mostly because I was grinding rosemary and it's like it does like it smells nice, but like it's like mottled in like a weird color.
3 dice?
Yes.
Just wanted to not have this problem.
So like last time you got 2 ticks on the clock, right?
Yeah.
Then this gets you your other 2 ticks on the clock, and your stuff all comes
Hey.
down one row.
Okay. So now it's
So
just like swollen face.
yeah, like you've still got black eyes and a swollen nose, but like it's not the break isn't the problem anymore. It's everything else that's gotta like, kind of come back together.
Well, I will take that as role experience for like a little while.
Yeah.
Then I will, yeah, I will leave. Thank you, Quellen. Thank you.
Oh, it's always a
You-
pleasure, dear.
You come so highly recommended to us.
Like, well, any friend of May's is a friend of mine. You tell that Mr. Demas I haven't seen him in a while. Looking forward to seeing him again.
I will certainly mention it to him. He is quite busy these days, however.
I understand. Everybody gets busy and all Quellen goes on the shelf. That's how it is down here at Quellen's Quick Quality Co-ops.
She just gets that quick plug in. That's so good.
Quick quality quaffs.
Now, why does Raja not get her dooming foretold? How does she get away?
Because I've
Why you-
moved and I don't know where that paper is. Like,
Why
you
are you
That's
putting
fair.
Mike on
the
that
roll-off.
spot, Ethan? That's mean.
I'm just. It's. Raja needs to know. She needs to know.
I want because of opportunity, I want to ask her about the ghost things, but also don't want to derail. So can we like go to black here on Raja and Quellen?
Sure.
So I can talk to her about the ghost things after everyone's done their downtime.
Okay.
I just got to get healed and see what kind of horrors Ohm will unleash upon me while doing that.
So I think there's a moment there where it's like, oh yes, it's like, oh you have a little drip over here, dear. It's like just making sure they like and then she'll kind of get that faraway stare and be like, oh yes, just like our children of winter. Do not trust what you can't see here. She'll kind of like start to. She's not leaving, like there will still be the other scene, but like she messes with some other stuff in the store. Drops that one.
Okay.
Where does Demas want to be healed? Like back at the shop, or
This would be like later on, after everybody's gone back to the lair, because he's already made his rounds about town.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'd be coming back.
Good.
He might even already be in the chair.
Oh wow, nice. Okay.
Just kind of like, well, I'm done, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Ohm will be back eventually.
Yeah.
Like Ohm comes back and he's like checking the pocket watch and like tapping his foot.
Ohm sets down some like dried eel, and some like some seaweed that they pulled up, and kind of like sloughs all that onto the table. It's still kind of wet, right? Um, and looks over and
Cass has been there the entire time Demas was, and like not even a word. Like no acknowledgement that it was there at all. And when Ohm has all that stuff out on the table, she does kind of like reach over, just like push it a little farther out of the way over her.
yeah, the wet splatter of the seaweed, right?
Yeah.
Kind of gets splashes on some things. And Ohm looks over at Demas and says, Demas, welcome to my chair. What can I do for you?
Well, I have several, I wouldn't say 8, but in the realm of 8 small puncture wounds in my torso, and then a bullet wound here that is, by definition, not very enjoyable.
I
So if
see.
we could do something about that.
Yes, of course. My apologies. I should have seen to you when we were at the manor.
I had things to do.
We had so many supplies there, but no worries. I do have some fresh seaweed, and Ohm goes and like pulls off some leaves of seaweed and begins to like they put them in a mortar and pestle and start to grind them, right?
Like a sushi.
Like a paste, like a sushi.
I'm gonna get a sushi treatment.
That's right.
Now the real way that we handle a bullet wound is with wasabi.
That's encourages that lead to come right out. Yeah, spicy. Yeah. And so Ohm will kind of mash that into a paste, and then go to their kind of table of their wall of various knickknacks and sundry and all that kind of stuff, and I'll kind of like look at the big thing of Leviathan blood and look back at Demas. No, I don't think that's quite right yet. But here, I know I've just the thing, and pull off like a little bottle of like a blue liquid, and go back and dab that in there, and then give it a good swirl, make that into a nice paste, spit in the whole thing, rub all that going, and then go and grab like like go to the kitchen area and grab one of our rags, you know, and bring that back as the like bandaging for all of this. And Ohm will say, well, if you, Demas, if you don't mind laying on your side so that I may dress everything, I think that this seaweed will help bind the skin in the areas where you've been punctured. And then in the bullet wound, unfortunately, I will have to maneuver a little bit. I have some implements that will hopefully keep it to a dull roar, but if you have something you'd like to bite down on,
Sure.
maybe preferable.
I think he'll just pull his knife out of his boot and like bite down on the blade. There's extra incentive there because if you scream, you cut your tongue off. So you bite down on the blade. It's a
yes, of course. I keep forgetting that non-Tycherosi teeth are flat and don't chip well. Okay, excellent. So let us dig in, and Ohm will begin healing Milos. Not Milos. My God, Demas. Yes,
four dice.
Four dice for you.
Okay.
As
a 6.
Yeah, as we mash in that seaweed water paste business.
We'll spend a coin to bump that up to a crit.
Ooh.
So I can get some healing. So all my stabbied wounds from when I was stabbied are gone, but my not enjoyable bullet wound is now bearable bullet wound.
It's now a bearable bullet wound. Yeah, the metal is out, and we have to wait for the body to do its thing.
Yes.
Excellent. I love it.
You could even say that Demas is holy.
Oh, yeah. You could, but you shouldn't.
You could, but you shouldn't. You absolutely should not.
I feel like that deserves a dab after it, sir.
That was.
I'm just gonna let it sit.
Just
I
gonna
don't
let
think
it
any
sit,
of
huh?
us like it though. Like,
Just let
Just
it
gonna
sit.
let it sit, huh?
You don't have to
took
like
the air
it.
out of the whole session.
don't have to like it.
You don't have to like it. It's not what it's for.
It's not there to be enjoyable. It's just a thing. Okay. Um, so Ohm still has one extra on tap, I think. Right?
Yeah. I think I'd like to work on the finish up repairing the hull and begin creating the schematics for that.
Okay. So yeah, it's going to be one of those.
Okay. Let's finish repairing it. You know, we have a fresh soul. So like there is a
Do we want to put
Let's
the angry
give.
bounty hunter in the flame cat?
I'm not saying I'm not saying we want to or that we should or anything like that, but it's like, well, this should be ready for when we're ready.
We need a hull that has like no limbs. It just kind of sits there. Like maybe it makes a little top spin whenever there's a soul in it. Like that's what we
That's
need.
so bad.
Preferable.
I could make a schematic. There's like a little one of those perpetual motion machines that's like based on ambient temperature. Just whenever
Soul
this.
power.
I like the little like drinky bird.
Yes.
Just,
Yes. And it's like
just whenever there's a soul nearby, just like. Tick, 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 tick,
the
tick,
soul
tick.
is in the bird, right? And they're the thing tipping it up and down. And it's like then you see a table with like 20 of them. And it's like, oh my God, this person is a madman. Because anything like that, you scale it, it's just way worse.
Yeah. It's cute when it's one. It's
It's
Yes.
real adorable when it's one, and then there's 20, and it's like, oh, this is a derangement. Gosh, no, I'm gonna work on creating the schematics. I feel like with Ohm's role, I want to be doing more than just finishing off the repair.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think is one of your special abilities the one that like ups your effect level when we reach.
yes,
So like,
yeah,
okay.
Artificer, when you invent or craft a creation with Sparkcraft features, gain +1 result level on your roll. You begin with one special design already known. So I think that like I am beginning to reverse engineer this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is taking what you've learned so far in repairing the Basso Cat Hull, and then applying that towards creating something new in that vein.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. If that works for you.
yes.
Okay, cool. So Tinker is not risky, it's controlled. And are we going to say that +1 result level on your roll? So I don't mess with the effect at all, really. It's
Right.
just
So
roll the
we'll
tinker.
roll, and instead of it being like, if you roll a 1 to 3, you get the effect from 4 to 5.
Cool, perfect. Okay.
Right. It goes up a notch.
yeah, because there's not really effect on like the fortune rolls for downtime stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And no bonus dice. Or would Kess be helping me on this one too?
Yeah. This can be an extra die here.
Okay. Hey, look at that. Look at that crit.
That is very, very impressive. All right, so that's 5 of 6 ticks filled on that clock.
Yes. Yes. We will have our cat hole fighting league soon.
What if we just made a bunch of whole chickens? Because
Yeah,
like
is
they
is
could
the
fight,
new
but like, what else are they gonna do?
They don't have any other abilities or powers. Yeah.
You know, it's like
like
pretty
is this new
useless.
hull design like another cat-shaped thing, or is this like we make tiny little robot dudes and that's what's gonna fight? Or
Well, I think I had it in my head that it was going to be this cat thing, right? Obviously, I don't want it to have the ability to open the door and make a flamethrower happen. That's a bad idea, right? That is like
well,
categorically the wrong plan
you
for
also
these.
don't have a whole lot of like chips of the heart of a flame demon to be like putting that into multiple
Yeah,
extractions.
yeah, exactly. So it's got to be a weaker thing. So yeah, I think we are making a weakened form of the cat hull that is, able to do some athletically interesting things like little leaps, little sprints, that kind of thing.
It's a munchkin cat instead. You know,
Alright.
the ones with the little tiny short legs, and they look kind of silly.
Munchkin. Yes.
Munchkin cats are adorable, and they're tiny and they're less scary
There
than
it is.
whatever.
There it is.
They're like my Mavis, my little cat back at home.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, little munchkin
baby.
cat. Yeah. So something with something that is a bit less impressive than the other thing. And yeah. And a button that makes them easy to turn off.
Oh man, could we even rig up one of those like invisible fence type situations to where if it leaves the building, it just turns off?
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother clock. That's a whole nother clock.
Whole nother clock to get the invisible fence set up.
Yeah.
They all have one of those poles off the top, like bumper cars, where they have
Yes!
to push the
Yes!
right?
Then I only need one demon shard thingy. Right? And it powers the whole grid.
Also, just bumper car fight club just sounds so funny.
Well, and it's small, it's miniature, like you can see on the top of it, looking down
Yeah.
at them. Like,
I love it. I love it.
It's
and also,
really
it
coming
keeps people
together.
from like throwing things into the ring. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
good
it's
Yeah.
really coming together.
Yeah,
All this
this-
is really coming together.
So yeah, perfect. That is glorious. We're already on to our next business venture after the masks are done, which I
Yes.
love.
Do we want to take our break here, and then we can do some of these? We've got a few different once we're out of downtime scenes that are kind of starting to line up here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lorena at the lair and meeting with Cinder and Tuhan, and Raja spending some quality time with her acquaintance Cullen. You never know when you're going to need a quick quality walk.
I want to know about the ghosts.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So what do we want? Like a 10-minute break?
I think roughly 10 minutes brings us back at the top of the hour. It's gonna stay for like top of the hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Perfect.
technically, I think.
Well,
But yeah.
Then folks, I think we have the normal crew, but just in case we don't have just the normal crew, I want to turn on our little giveaway machine to give away some lovely Legend Keeper action. Legend Keeper is a world building tool that a lot of us use. I think the chat has seen quite a bit of it so far. But in case there's somebody in chat who doesn't already have Legend Keeper, I want to make that available
And
to you.
shame
So
on you.
shame. For shame. No
What are you
shame. No shame.
What do you do? I mean, it's just you're out of the loop. Welcome to the loop.
That's right. That's right. So here, let us turn on the giveaway machine. If you would please put an exclamation point Legend Keeper, all one word, exclamation point Legend Keeper in the chat, and that'll enter you in to win a beta key to Legend Keeper. It's a world building tool, has like Google Maps meets Wikipedia, kind of like a OneNote replacement. I gave it away to Wandering DM, who is another streaming DM. He does a lot of cyberpunk stuff, and he was like, "Dude, it's completely changed my game." So like, it is good. It comes from high praise, with high praise from all of us, and with people who aren't even in this room. So put in for the giveaway, and we'll be back in 10 minutes at the top of the hour.
And once we're done, there is still recordings in the videos on here and in the High Shelf Gaming YouTube channel. Talk from the creator, Legend Keeper, and other people used it. There's all kinds of good ways to use it. And
Yes.
totally took us the wrong way when we had.
No, it is
exactly
good. It is so good. Yeah, the YouTube channel has lots of good info. Faux show.
Yeah. Cool. So then, yeah, we will see everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. We're certainly not hanging out in the background talking about Keanu Reeves.
He's great.
The amount of cycles we spend on our love of Keanu Reeves off cam is kind of high because he comes up.
Well, you know, when you're in the cyberpunk space,
Yeah.
and so you've got the 2077 hype.
Mm-hmm.
We like martial arts. Comes up again.
Mm-hmm.
He's really just all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Like
he's everywhere.
And for us, yes, it was him. Like I just found the story too.
I
Oh,
just sent you a message, and I was like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
it is.
it's great.
So that's it. We're
Rihanna for
getting out
president.
here. Like, you can listen to us. We'll look down and read the rest of the night. Well, we talk about how much we love Legend Keeper. Legend Keeper, the tool that's going to change how you play games, or write your novels, or do all those kinds of things. Legend Keeper, check it out. Get
That's
down
right.
there.
Write the next John
Love
Wick,
it.
but you can't have John Wick because that name's trademarked. You have to make something new.
Yes.
John Bick. He fights with a pen.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
On Bic, thank you. On Bic.
I don't
smacked my
know what
fucking
is
elbow
worse.
trying to.
Oh, laughing? Did you
Yeah,
just
because I went to
while laughing?
facepalm, right? I went to facepalm. I was bringing palm to face, and my elbow clipped the edge of my desk.
I don't know what was a bigger dead fish so far tonight.
Oh.
Ethan's joke or yours, Dave? They're
Oh,
up there
man.
though.
They're all bad. They're all bad.
They're up there.
that, or do we just now go down the hole of like John Wick, the game designer who did like Seventh Sea, all that stuff? Because there's a whole.
Oh yeah, that guy, dude.
There's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, he made Legend of the Five Rings, my formerly favorite fantasy roleplay game.
Formerly.
Yep.
Um,
My.
I feel like there's a story for off stream there.
There's been some kind of shakeup. All right, we don't know what's happened. Where's David, and what have you done with him?
Fantasy
yeah.
Flight. Fantasy Flight screwed it all up.
Mm.
Well, I think he's working with Chaosium now, so that's
He is? Oh my god.
oh yeah, he was right there at the Chaosium booth
Oh wow.
at
yeah.
Gen Con
Like
last
I think they scooped up his company. I think so. Like Seventh Sea is through Chaosium.
Oh, that's
now.
cool. That's cool.
year. Yeah, I think. Yep.
Yeah,
Also,
Jagos.
check out the book Play Dirty because it's really good about like GMing tricks and stuff like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one too.
Lord of the Five Rings
other stuff.
or Legend of the Five Rings for 45% off. That's totally worth it because Fantasy Flight is going to end all of their RPG stuff, and the game is good and the art is beautiful, and it's all going away, and I'm sad. So yeah. So are we doing like a number of roleplay scenes? Is that our next thing? As we
We've
like,
got like a couple different roleplay scenes that people were like kind of like headed towards. We've got some folks hanging out at the lair. We've got Raja hanging out and talking to Quellen. Wait, sorry, I gotta get the name right. There, I am in.
you got to get the voice just right with Quellen.
Yes. Thanks, Scott. We're looking forward to that for the rest of my life. Yeah, every time this therapy comes up. Yeah. So I don't know. Where do we want to start here?
I can start with Colin.
Okay. Yeah. So she drops some creepy little bomb on you and goes off into the back. And, eventually comes back out in the front.
I'm still just looking around at her knickknacks and everything.
Yeah,
When
there's
she
a lot of
comes back,
like sort of mummified animals up on the top of cabinets and stuff. Like,
gross.
Yeah,
Super
I
gross.
it's not taxidermy, it's mummification.
yeah, I don't know why you would taxidermy a cat to begin with, but like it didn't go right. And but Mr. Mittens is still up on top of there with like a name tag and like a dusty crooked bow tie.
Wow. That's what it is. That's pretty scary. When she comes back out, I'll look surprised to see her again, even though I'm not. And Quellen, ma'am, have you noticed, or I have noticed, a problem with kind of the ghost world and the beings that live within? I was wondering if you had any answers to what might be happening.
Like, oh well, I'm not one to be,
Well, this is more
not-
metaphysical than
yeah,
gossipy.
not one to know the comings and goings of all the spirits within the city of Dustfall.
Of course.
I think I kind of understand what you're talking about, especially over around Crowsfoot. Things have been very strange lately. Yeah, she'll talk for a few minutes about how it's it's unusual the lack of activity. Um, she knows that there are people who traffic in spirits, especially back out
Mm.
into in 6 hours. Um,
Oh yes, I'm familiar with Flint.
but they've probably been fairly active lately. They've been active lately.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hasn't heard of when she explained that she hasn't seen anything like go on like this since a period of time ago that kind of syncs up to like Ghost Ball, right? Um, but I don't think she knows like the whole Ghost Bomb plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't know all that went on with like putting ghosts
Okay.
in a bomb to make a ghost bomb, right? She just knows she'll just be able to identify like back to around that period of time, oh well back, a couple months ago when there was things going on. Like
Similar.
before the wax factory burned down,
Ah,
burned to the ground.
all right. I think then I shall go talk to Flint about the comings and goings of ghosts.
Like, oh yes. Oh, well, if you're going to go to see Point here, yeah, hold on 1 second. I have something for you to take to him. And she kind of goes back into the back, and she brings you back out like this little package that's like it's wrapped in like canvas and like tied in a bow on top. It's kind of rectangular-ish, flat. It's pretty lightweight and like it's not really rigid or anything.
Is he expecting this, or is this a surprise?
Oh, it's a surprise. It's okay. Thank you for doing it for me.
She like Raja just like gives her a look like, you messing with me? Like, this is bad.
My dear, I would never do a thing like that. No, this is a gift for friends. He was
All right.
very kind to me recently, so this is me repaying the favor.
Um, cool. Before Raja leaves, she'll adjust her sari, so that it will wraps around to cover her face as well, like over her head and around her face. Um, and then she will go find Flint, who is my friend, or at least he has the up arrow on
Okay,
my.
yes, you know how to find Flint. You know where to look for him.
Okay, I have contacts
You're on
again,
good
guys.
terms with him. Yeah,
I
you
have
haven't
good and
killed
bad contacts again. Like,
people
No.
that you haven't killed.
shut
Who
up,
is
Nathan.
Raj's who's Raj's
Nyrix,
rival?
Nyrix
Oh, Nyrix. Okay, yeah, yeah,
makes sense with the things.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go
Um,
find the barrel fire that Flint is hanging out
yeah, yeah. The barrel fire that Flint hangs out around, um, and like his Flint is probably wrapping up talking to somebody, who will leave. Um, actually, he's wrapping up talking to somebody who's wearing one of those the plague doctor masks that the wraiths wear, and they leave.
with. Always run
Um,
into the wraiths right here. Why?
yeah. And then like his big like bodyguard dude is there, so he's like he's friendly to you, but he's like yeah, hold back a second while he wraps up his business, and then
Of course.
how you been, what's it, and
Hmm.
Husker by the fire,
Pleasantries.
the canvas tarp is like kind of held up over the alleyway to try to keep the drizzle and everything like that. But yeah, the Flint and this wraith wrap up their business, and the wraith goes like leaves off to wherever it's.
Hmm.
Flint is like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? What can I do for you?
It's I've been busy. First, I was asked to bring this to you, and I'll present the gift. It's from Quellen, so grain of salt and all that.
Like, oh, okay. I don't know what this is. He sets it down, like kind of like he tries to untie the knot, and it's tied tight enough that he's like, okay, fuck it. He like pulls out this knife and like just like nicks the top off.
Raja just steps back slightly. Just
Yeah, and he kind of like opens it up, and inside is like an egg salad sandwich.
Raja just tilts her head. Like,
Oh, well, I dropped off some soup for her the other day. So she's,
oh,
you know,
interesting.
They could
being
be
there.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
Peculiar, but interesting.
And the ghosty people can be wholesome to one another. It's like,
Of course. If not them, then who?
exactly. Like so, like he takes this like big bite of egg salad, and goes, "Oh, what can I do for you? What brings you out?"
I've been noticing some problems or lack of problems within the ghost field. And I know that is one of your favorite things to do is talk and play with the spirits. I'm sure you've noticed that there's an issue as well.
Like, well, I don't know that I'd call it an issue. Business has been brisk lately.
Has that business been brisk with a certain gang?
There's been a good percentage of it through a certain gang, you might say, and he kind of like goes like this in front of his face.
Interesting.
Not
Does this
exclusively, but frequently.
does this business coincide with what happened with the lamp blacks?
It's like, well, hey, I had nothing to do with what happened to the lamp blacks. I
What
just want
happened
that
to
on the
the
table.
lamp blacks? Yes,
But
what
yeah,
happened to
I
the
was
lamp
not
blacks?
involved. I was not
You were
involved
not
in that.
involved.
I did not
We're
do that.
clear on that, Flint. I know
I
we've
know
talked
nothing
about
about.
this.
All right. I'm just saying.
Prior to that,
There was a brisk business before that as well. That's
I know that same business is being
similar.
done by.
Like
She
our
does the same
friend.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah. They've been making a lot of purchases. Not exclusively them, but they've been making a lot of purchases and they have the coin to make a lot of purchases. So not sure where
She
that's coming from.
she kind of gesture around like her waist. Like, what about the crimson like group?
Oh,
Like a
the red sashes. Yeah,
is what she's alluding to. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think he'll drop the name of like somebody who's like one of like the. They have a few whispers, and like that guy's kind of like the most experienced of them.
Mm.
Um, and so I saw him recently, but like he wasn't. He was looking for some supplies, but not. He wasn't buying ghosts, right? He wasn't trading in spirit bottles.
What do you think their target is?
Um, so I'm not positive if Flint really knows ghost
Right,
people,
which is fine.
right?
Hmm.
He knows that there was a lot of ghosts being purchased around that time, but like you show up, you put your money on the barrel, I give you what you bought, and we go our separate
Hmm.
ways, and it's not my concern, kind of deal. Like he's a dealer, he's not.
Right.
Um, so he may get a little bit of a confused look when you ask the question because he doesn't know really what all those whips
Who
are
are
getting.
opposing them right now? Do you know?
Um, like I don't get into gang stuff all that much. I really haven't heard of them starting too much beef with anybody recently.
Maybe they're waiting to.
And they could be waiting to. They've been like I've seen them around the city before, and they've been here buying. They don't usually have this much money to buy.
Have you seen them at Scarlocks?
I think when you say the name Skurlock, you'll be like, I don't know nothing about no Skurlocks, right? Like I don't.
Right.
Like,
I'm
like
sorry.
say the
Name.
name is a scary ass thing to him in general, right? It's like he who shall not be named. the vampire. Like I don't talk to him. I've seen he's been around, all that kind of stuff.
Time out. I think I'm mixing two characters' thoughts here. Didn't we see the race at the Skurlox? Like, go to Skurlox?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Raja just thinks because there's so much going on and he has a lot of cold. Well, that is interesting information to have. What issues is all having all these spirits gone? Are you concerned with anything that might happen in the ghost world? Or have you found that spirits just seem to come back after a while?
Hey, people die every day. There's never going to be a shortage of spirits in the long term, right?
True.
I think his general bent on the matter will be like supply and demand. Little low supply, high demand. That means lots of money. So that's what he's after for. You know?
Of course. I owe you a cup of coffee later. Thank you for your time.
He takes another big bite of the egg and yeah, I'll pick up on our soon. Like,
cool. Raja's gonna hurry back to a base. So
okay. I think if we want to do like Griffith with Lorena back at the lair, like kind of before there gets to be the chance to be like everybody there, so there's like Griffith like kind of showing her around and like what the place is.
Yeah.
You want okay. Then we can kind of have like more people filter in, and we can have kind of send her to one show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we can start with just like that shot of like the door of the lair opens from the inside, and Griffith kind of like right this way.
Right. I'll be like, so right this way, love. So this is no Maribel mansion, but it's safer and secure. You know. No, that's a compliment.
It is. It is. She's like, yeah, I can see where it would be. She kind of like comes in, like looks around, like the rafters and stuff. She says, probably has like the satiny kind of like long gloves, like does like the one finger across the top of the dresser kind of thing, and like checks. And it's nice and clean because Milos is like all over that crap, right? Like,
right. I was like,
it's rustic but well cared for. Like,
well, that's the thanks to the big man over there in the corner. Don't get too close. He's different. I'll leave it at that. Over there is, and then he'll point over the like Ohm's shop, like where he does all his, that's where cousin Ohm fixed me up, and basically me a lot of the time up. Ignore the grumpy girl. She eats maggots, but she's really good at her job.
Kech will just be like reach out and like close the door.
Charming. Oh, you'll love this. Well, I want to. Where have we ever said where Demus's board's at?
It's probably out here, like away from the things
Which
that can
one?
catch fire.
The one that the crew can put pins in.
Oh man, that's the map table. That's got to be the map. He's got his own that's kind of like just for plans. That's like a cork board on the wall, but no, that's the map table. So you can dramatically stick a knife in it. It's important.
So
you need to go up and do the whole like, all right, here's the plan. We're going here.
So I'll show her that, and like with all the little tie-ins, and be like, so like this is where we do a lot of our meetings at. It goes usually well.
This is the conference room. The main receptionist is over there.
Right. And then I would show her, and then I would end in our room, and that's where I guess would be a pretty, if you don't mind, it kind of explain Griffith's room.
Yeah.
It's cool. So in his room, it's a nice bed. with like some nice stuff sheets. Like he does have some nice stuff, but he also has various trinkets of all of the missions that she sent him on. So like little things that he took from each hit, as a reminder. And then there's a picture on his desk of her. Do they have pictures? We'll say they have pictures.
Sure.
And the one thing that he has is the rug from her mother that ended up giving, that's at the base of the bed, and then the sword of his father, which was an exchange in the marriage, that's over on the wall. Other than that, it's kind of bare. There's a little table with a little gas lamp thing that he sends that with some ink that you see that he occasionally used to write till things got super busy. But that's how, and he just like, and this isn't much, but this is where we'll be staying for now. And I've kept some things that I was able to sneak through customs. Your mother's rug and the sword that cost. It's kind of why I'm with this group, because that getting that sword through customs kind of broke me.
I think she'll be like, yeah, well, I mean, it is a distinctive blade and all, and she'll kind of like do that kind of slow walk past stuff. She'll kind of like run her fingers through like the dangling trinkets from the various kills, and kind of like see the rug at the foot of the bed, and like kind of here in this place of like definite like you are here and you are paying attention to this thing. So they're like, it's not high fashion, and it's not a mansion, but we're back together again. And
And yeah, and he
I appreciate
smiles
it.
at that, and we can cut the black from there.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Then I know a little bit later there's time for like people to start to collect back at the lair with the other characters here. Um, Katrina, I'm gonna assume you want me to switch you back to saying Maribel.
Uh, Raja does need to drop off that information, but it can
Mhm.
just be played that it was. So
Well, and you still can. I just figured if Cinder and Tuhan are gonna show up, Maribel's probably the one who
Maribel will be here. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like as everybody's kind of there, and like Milos has the kettle going downstairs, stuff like that. Um, Demas is kind of like working it back out after having the whole like all jabbing his fingers around in your gut. And, no, hold on, I almost got it. It's just a second. So no,
Yeah.
it's over this way.
It keeps getting deeper. How weird is that?
That's how a president died. Come on, they're just digging around in there for it.
Yeah, and
Well,
then like, eventually there will be a knock at the door. And I think maybe before anybody actually gets there, all the way there to open it, um, Tuhan will be the one who like opens it from the outside, and Cinder will enter along with him. So let me go ahead.
almost like walking over with some stuff, and it's like goes like immediately like I was actually going to the kitchen, avoiding the initial contact there.
And I think Demas will definitely do that thing where he's like standing up and still getting his shirt back on after all the like surgery and stuff, and just be like, well, nice of you to drop by.
Maribel will be there. Maribel will be there to do the pleasantries of inviting them in and bringing them to a table where they can have tea, while the others prepare for the talk. So it's so
Yeah,
lovely
I
to
think
see you again. Welcome back.
yes, thank you. I figured it's been time to check in again on how our progress has been going, and Cinder will have a seat at the table, and Tinder will cut Cinder and Tinder.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder's a
Tuhan will
different
kind of like, yes, that's a different game. whole different channel with a different rating. Tuhan will kind of stand kind of a little bit back to the side of her, kind of like hands kind of one's kind of on his spirit mask on one side, the other one is he has this kind of like you can see it. It's got a big hilt on it, and it's got like this big wide blade that comes down to a point, and it's like etched with things on the side of the blade. This kind of like calling it a sword is overkill, but it's still like it's like if you had like a butcher's knife, but it was like way longer than it should be. And it was kind of like ornate and kind of came to this point and had stuff like etched into the sides of the blade.
Maribel will get tea for Cinder. And Tuhan, would you like something?
He will politely decline.
Of course.
Thank you.
And she'll pour tea for like Demas and whoever else sits at the table normally, and then take a seat.
Ohm will gather masks for the demonstration that clearly they are here for.
Like, yes, and they're like, so I assume there's been progress. It's been a while since I've had any sort of check-in with you people. So, where are things at?
Ohm is going to come in with 2 masks, and a little like pine cedar, a little cedar box, and it's got kind of a big lock on it, kind of thing. And Ohm will kind of come in with these items and lay out a cloth and set out 2 of the masks facing down, and then set down the cedar box and say, Cinder, Tuhan, yes, we've made good progress. The masks have been coming along quite well. If you'll note on these masks now, we have a number of compartments. In the past, I believe I showed you where this compartment here at the chin, if you have a properly imbued fetish, like a sprig of thistleweed or a tooth from a great beast or something like that, it can be loaded into the mask, and then the mask will take on the face of whomever is paired to that fetish. And we have a number of them, for display. I think you've already seen this part. Well, now there are new compartments. There is a compartment here which merely needs to be filled. If it is empty, then the mask will do nothing to augment your voice. But if you place an object in here, then the mask will take your voice and resonate it through this object, and it will distort your voice in quite a dramatic fashion. You can still be understood, but it is clearly not your voice, and maybe not even a human voice that is making that utterances. Useful for disguising things and of that sort, but really where this we needed to get through this understanding of having the mask absorb voice, absorb sound, and so that we could then take the next leap forward, which is communication between 2 masks. And Ohm takes a minute to like find their key, grabs the key, and then unlocks this big lock and opens the cedar box. And inside are a pair of canines from a certain bounty hunter, and opens yet a third compartment, maybe up here by the jaw, right? And opens that and places the canine in there and shuts it, and then opens the other one, the other mask's compartment, places it in there and shuts it, and says, "This next bit is difficult to achieve. However, if you have 2 if you have a creature who has sacrificed mirroring bones, such as teeth or a digit, I believe in cartilage would work from like a fish, could work here as well. But it must be the mirror of the two. So in this case, I've placed the left and right incisors. Now that these objects are in there, there is some sort of metaphysical link between those two objects. They're bound together. And in so the masks are bound together. And when you wear one, and Ohm will take it and offer it to Cinder.
Cinder takes it.
And when I wear one with matching objects that have been properly prepared, matching fetishes with properly prepared, we can both don our masks, and Ohm puts it on their face, and like the inky blackness swirls, and the face of Ohm would appear on the front.
I think she'll be a little hesitant at first and like kind of like eye Tuhan, a little like side head nod, like yeah, keeping an eye on things, and then she'll put it on.
Okay. Important point for you, Mike.
Yes.
Ohm does have a fetish in the chin spot for that mask, waiting to absorb a face.
Arabelle loves so much. So much. Good work.
And so
will you be upset if I ask to make a roll there for?
No, not at all. Like that's like the Ohm would have prepared that back in the room, you know? And so this would have been like, I'm handing you the mask that I need you to have.
Okay.
And yeah, does Ohm make a sneaky roll? What kind of?
So finesse covers like misdirection and sleight of hand type things.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it would be like sway or command.
I
Kind of
don't think
commanding her to
it's.
put the mask
I
on.
don't think you're like like I don't think you're forcing her to try to do it. Like
Okay.
once she's like feels like kind of like somebody else is watching her back, she'll do it anyway. It's just like is she going to pick up on the idea that like there's one of these face tokens in here too, and it's trying to steal my face.
Right. Right. Okay. So awesome. Yeah. So finesse. What is my position here?
This is risky.
Okay.
Like, right?
Yep.
Maybe not so much in that it's like super difficult, but like
Right.
the consequences if she finds out you're stealing her face are like she
Yeah.
won't be pleased.
No, I understand. I understand. Standard effect, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have having taken an extra second in the back to really make sure that compartment is well sealed and not, obviously filled or anything like that. So I'm gonna spend some stress to give myself a bonus die here
Okay.
because I don't have the greatest of finesse of stuff.
Yeah.
If he
and his
pushes
himself.
Yeah.
I forget, if he pushes himself, can somebody else help him?
If you could explain what you would do to help him like pass this token
I would
mask
distract
properly.
security, right? Because I'd be like, I saw that giant meat cleaver, and he's a sword guy. I'm a knife guy. Let's talk. Hey
Talk
man, that's really
blades.
not. And I'll show him mine, like as
Blades.
a Taka
Well, it's dark.
like and be like, hey, I see you got a nice blade there. Let me show you mine. And then just try to, and that's what I would do to try to. I know what I did there. So Would that work?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
there's that you showing him like your Taikaroshi blade and him holding up his, which has like this kind of like etched landscape that runs along the edge of the blade,
Oh,
and then there's a
cool.
bunch of etched in um, music notes, like musical stab in like a song
Ah,
that's like
Ooh,
in the blade,
is
etched
that a
onto the
warrior
blade
song,
itself.
sir?
Like it's a song from my family, right? Like
I
it's
understand.
it's a family thing. Yeah.
that's got to be like an ancient curse thing. That's got to be like something awful. If you get stabbed with that thing, you bleed permanently or some shit like
Forever.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something I want to get hit, but I'm
Uh-uh.
also, just in case this goes wrong, cousin, I'm putting myself in the line of fire.
Sweet.
This is the song you have to know how to sing to stop the bleeding.
Right.
Ah,
Right.
lovely.
All right. So I get 2 bonus dice because I pushed myself and I got a
You
little
just have
assistance
an
from my
assistant.
cousin.
Yep.
All right. Cool. I'm submitting.
Fuck.
Damn.
I'm
Damn.
gonna get stabbed.
For something.
4 is something.
Partial success.
It's a partial success. You'll get something. Um,
Don't you have to wear the mask for like a while
It has to be on the
for the
face for a
face
minute.
to imprint?
Yeah, it has to be
yeah.
on the face
So, I
for a
mean,
minute. So the thought is that like if I can get her to wear it and be unawares, and then have a private conversation with her in the masks, and like have that whole exchange, like maybe it stays on her face long enough. But certainly, like it doesn't have to stay on. Like it could come off her face at any time, and the whole gig is up, kind of thing, or it doesn't work, I should say.
yeah. So I kind of want to offer you the choice of like either like it stays on, but something is going to happen in that process where like it's tingling. She's getting electric sensation. She's getting something where like when it comes off, she's not going to be in a good mood about it,
Hmm.
or it doesn't stay on long enough to get like the full accurate impression.
I think I
Oh, but you
like
could
it.
have it.
I think I want, yeah, I think I want to let her feel the mask sensations because I think Ohm can like techno babble their way through that. But yeah, I'm gonna go for it stays on long enough that we get the impression, but she she's nonplussed with the sensations that come from the mask.
So I think another thing that can happen there, just based on how Blades is set up, is like um, she puts the mask on, she wears it the time long enough to get that. I say, but when it comes off, she's been like like her face is irritated. There's something. She's in a bad mood. There's something, and you can say yes, but I technobabble her and I resist.
There we go.
Right?
There we go. There we go. Thank you. That is perfect.
Which is trading your patron's representative being angry with you guys for some more stress on them.
Right.
Right?
Perfect.
Sounds good. We love it.
This is where Ohm goes.
Yes.
Strategically placing myself in harm's way.
I think that's resolve because that's kind of like you're talking and communicating kind of thing.
Yeah, and while we're in the communication with
So I meant for the resistance roll.
oh yeah, let me roll resolve. Bam. No bonus die. Submit.
Yeah, you talk her out of it. You get no stress whatsoever. Okay.
Yay. Good job,
Yes.
sir.
Ohm is a talker when they need to be, apparently.
Yeah, well,
Also, like
it's the
no one else in the
technobabble
crew
thing,
knows
right?
that you did this thing.
I keep forgetting that you can resist things that aren't just like physical harm.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always something that I forget. If it's not going on the harm tracker, typically it just flies under the radar. Like
just
this is a
just
bad thing that's
Mhm.
happening.
just max us and ruins everything. Yeah.
Honestly, I forget that you can do that a bunch of the time too, so I don't think to recommend it. But,
No, it's good. It's
yeah.
good. So while I'm in this private conversation with Cinder, Ohm um, wants to impress upon Cinder that we are having a completely confidential and private conversation. No one else in this room can hear us. For instance, I think Tuhan looks like a piece of sports memorabilia.
I think you'll get like a half chuckle out of her, and then she'll look at Tuhon, who just kind of like looks like, what? Like,
Yeah.
because
As you can see,
like I don't even know what everybody else in the room hears when you're doing that, if they hear anything at all.
nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. So it'd be this point where it's like, as you can see, my head is still attached to my shoulders, and Tuhon has heard nothing. This is an incredibly secure form of communication that we have.
That's fair. This is good. This is good progress. I appreciate where this is headed. Yes.
Your praise means much to me. Thank you.
Yes. Our mutual friend will be very happy with how things are going here.
This is good. We have another step to complete. The matching a mask to an item to have it react, or to have an item react to the presence of the mask. That is proving to be difficult, but we are making progress on that effort.
Good. It's like it's. I'm having a very unpleasant sensation from the mask. Is it okay for us to take them off now? Like the time has passed. Like you got the face like recorded in
Sure.
the things.
Sure. Yeah. Owen would say, "Oh, you are." Well, yes. Let's take it off. If you don't mind, I would like to examine your face just to understand if the masks are doing something. I want to be able to remove that effect.
Okay. Yeah. Then she'll take it off and like kind of hand you the mask.
Okay. Yep.
Side stuff like that.
Yeah, and Ohm would give her, Physicker's, eye to kind of understand what the nature of the irritant is and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I want to remove that, so Ohm is going to study it.
So almost like, yeah, all right, you're
Yeah,
good.
there's a just to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and Ohm wouldn't like touch Cinder specifically because like Cinder didn't offer that, but would ask, tilt, give let me
Yeah.
see all
Yeah.
the
The
marks.
idea of you like touching her is like clearly like.
Yeah, no, Ohm wouldn't do that, but would ask if maybe even ask like when you could you rub your fingers along that area? Does it feel dry or ask for like
Yeah.
will you do an assessment for me? And Ohm would be satisfied with that.
Yeah. No, she'll go through that process and like it's just the side effect of like you taking the face, right? Like you
Yeah.
know that. You can
Yeah.
come up with a convincing answer to her for like, oh well, we're still working out the details of the something and like
Mm-hmm.
C to four of the muster fly if it's not aligned and it's not on Thursday where like the moon is in the third phase, then yeah. Um,
Do like the rest of us in the room, like the three of us that know like, do we know that something's up with what he's doing with Cinder?
I don't know if anybody would know something's up. I don't think you've had it like, like it's electrifying my face kind of deal
Right.
so much. Or if you did, it was like you were
Well,
like just kind of slapping on you.
Something's always up with I think.
But
I was like,
more so is that we've all been through the experience of having our face
Right.
taken.
But the question that Mike raised is, was your character awake when?
Yes.
oh, mine wasn't. I was definitely.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab and give
I
her.
think
Face
you
this
might
note.
get stabbed, boy.
Yep. Yeah, I think that odds are, I would bet everybody has a different reaction to this,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
But it stands to reason that maybe somebody in the crew had some irritation and is like, that's kind of fun to me. I think that's
Oh yeah, Cass had hives for like a day.
yeah. Cass, oh, I got
Mhm.
Cass's face. Yes.
She was
Well,
very
that's
unhappy. It
part
was
of
part of
the-
it was part of a research procedure that you were doing. You were testing it, and like yeah.
Sure.
I think
So you don't get to work this job unless your face is low.
Yeah.
It's in the contract.
In the contract, that's right.
Maribel be just a little suspicious. Just a little suspicious.
Sure. Ohm's
She
not
she could be
Ohm's not an accomplished lier, so
Mhm.
She-
Maribel probably has Ohm figured out.
Oh, hey, that's a
Maribel
good
can be
point. I know
suspicious,
when people are
but Ohm can
lying.
resist.
Yeah.
I know when people are lying. So there's
Oh,
just kind of
that's a very good point. Yes, no, there is definitely something up when he's like, oh well, it's working completely as intended. This is just a side effect, and nothing is going on.
Yeah,
There's
we,
just
we
a bit of a side eye over to Demas, like something's up, but doesn't say anything.
I think Cinder is very impressed with what you've done. She does. Uh, she does like kind of like do one of these to Tuhan, who like leans down and she like whispers a message to him.
Ohm gets very still, terrified of what she's telling Tuhan about what Ohm said during the private conversation.
It's okay. Bring it.
I think he stands back up. He gives you a real solid side eye, and then he puts on his spirit mask. And he kind of goes over back by the door for a minute. You see him like take something off of his belt, and like he's messing with something over there. So he's paying attention to something in the ghost field. Um, if anybody wants to peek in on that, we can do that.
Oh,
we
well,
all
what did you
can.
know? Let me just go ahead and slide on over.
I know. If Raja was there, I was going to do that as well. But
Oh yeah. So this is something that like kind of came up before, where like if you pitch your view into the ghost field, Tuhan, there's a floating ghost near him. It looks like a ghost that's like missing kind of its lower body. It's in like this kind of like tattered cloak robe type thing, so like you can't really see its face. Um, but Tuhan, he says something to it in a language that I don't think anybody else here is going to get. Um, and the ghost pulls back part of the cloak, exposing it's like it just has like a rib cage. Like it reaches inside and it brings out its hand, and like it's like skeletal dead hand. It has like this little bird, like spectral bird, and it kind of like brings it up by like where the hood is, and like kind of like whispers something to it, and then go, and the bird kind of like does that like I'm a ghost thing. I pass through windows, and like kind of like this little puff of like electroplasmic energy as it like flies out.
Sending a tweet.
of course.
Boo.
Send tweet.
Fuck, that's how they message their fucking owner. God damn it. We need to ghost seal this place.
while he is doing that, Tuhan will ask, or sorry, not Tuhan, Cinder will ask you. It's like, okay, so you said there's communication between paired masks. Like, what if I was in a situation where I needed to send a message to a group of people and be able to receive feedback from multiple people?
Kind of considers for a moment. Most beneficial, yes. I will get working on that right away.
Very good.
I'm sure it's just a matter of finding more linked
teeth
items, right? Teeth. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Ohm says, "This is that is an interesting problem to solve, and I love it. Thank you."
Good. That would be most excellent if you were to address that scenario. Here is our new potential use case, and we need you to user story.
Scope creep.
Yeah. As a person wearing a creepy mask, I want to be able to distribute creepy mask messages to multiple people. And
also wearing creepy masks, and then hear what they have to say.
While wearing creepy masks, yes. So good. That would be good. I think our mutual friend will be very happy with the progress that's been made. I'm sure they're going to be quite satisfied.
That is
You've done good. You've done good work. Yes, all.
Excellent. Milos, is there any other business for us to conduct?
Demas.
Sorry, Demas. Why do I keep calling you Milos tonight? That's so weird.
Oh, no.
You were Demas big time. Yeah.
Demas big time. That's his new last name, Demas Big Time. That's what it is on the streets. On the streets, they call me Demas Big Time.
Demas Big Time.
If you speak Scotland, that's what Pavlik means, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
Big Time.
Yeah, I think Demas will say, no, I think that'll do it for now. Give us some time and we should be able to wrap up the majority of this project, I think, by the time you next arrive.
Good. I'll let our mutual friend know. We expect your research. I think she will also actually have a second where she stops to make sure that like this is all something that's going to be replicable once you've produced schematics, correct?
Yes, yes. Schematics that another artificer such as myself could reproduce these efforts. Absolutely.
Okay. She, takes out a little notepad, she scribbles a little note, sticks it there. Good. All right. I'm very pleased with how well you've been doing that. Thank you very much. I'm sure I'll be in touch again soon. Kind of like stands up and like Tuhan like ushers her back to the door, opens the door for her, guides her
Thank
out.
you.
I think before Tuhan steps out the door, he kind of like looks at Ohm, and there's kind of that like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he goes.
Ohm kind of looks at Tuhan and just tries their level best to hold the gaze.
Yeah.
Probably like not even looking at the eyes, like looking at the nose, right?
Yeah.
That trick where you're like, I know I have to like match you, but I'm not quite there yet, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then they depart.
It's
Cousin.
quiet. It's quiet for a little bit.
Yeah, like wait till hear their footsteps leave, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you hear them make it down to like the end of the block, and then like you hear a cart, like a goat cart, and like it was probably parked a little ways down, but like it rides past. Like you see them go past in this goat cart as they're leaving.
Um, Ohm, like after a minute, Ohm picks up the mask that Cinder was wearing and says, like looks at it for a minute, like looking down in the mask and says, "Oh, would you look at that?" And pops open the little chin marker. Little piece of a paw. Puts it on their face as like Cinder's visage comes into view.
Good work.
That was
Fantastic work.
it was close. She noticed that something was up. It was dicey.
But it worked.
It did. How does it look on the outside? How accurate are these representations of faces, Mike? Are they like rather cartoonish, or is it more accurate?
I think in the past we said that they're a little cartoonish, right?
Yep.
Like from a distance, you're going to be like, oh, that person had the features of,
So-and-so.
so and so. But like if you were face to face with them, it's like this is certainly not their natural face,
Right.
right? Like there's something about it that's a little too uncanny valley kind of deal.
Sure. Perfect. Um, is it worthwhile for us to follow them and see who our patron is?
I don't think we'd find out.
Oh.
The fashion reeks of the Imperial City, so I'm not sure that our patron even resides in Duskfall.
Would we know how long those spirit birds last? Mike?
They're meant for like short little one-off communications.
Hmm.
Like they'll last. You could send a message anywhere within the city with one for sure, but like one wouldn't last long enough to be like, okay, now go to Imperial City, like kind of deal. So whoever they are communicating with those is within this for sure.
Demas, it would be wise for us to at least see if we can try.
Very well.
Could we have arranged for maybe the kids to follow?
we can send the gutter snipes to do it. Yeah.
Or should this be a heist?
Hmm. I don't think it
How
needs.
bad do we want it to go?
I don't.
All right.
I think it's
like,
not
I
how
gonna
just
go
want
bad do we
great.
want to open it up to go?
I just
think-
kind of want the info.
Yeah, I think
Like,
this needs to be
money
stair
involved
stepped.
either.
Yeah, this is mainly let's just send the kids after to see where they go.
If it helps them, Mike, I can send Cerberus with them. Give Cerberus something to do.
Because Cerberus is
I think
totally
I think that
incognito.
might be like, yeah, that might draw more attention. The gutter snipes are kind
It's
of
fast as hell, boy.
Hey, it's nothing like Demas big time over here, okay?
Big time.
Big time.
yeah. So the gutter snipes are quality 2 and scale 2, which means there's around a dozen of them nowadays. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, right. Everything scales when the crew gets bigger. So, yeah, if we want to send
Get all
the
these
gutter
kids.
snipes to do it, then we can have them roll their quality 2. See how that goes.
Sure. Any benefit if our cohort leads them? My cohort leads them.
Oh, yeah, you've given Zamira some extra attention. She's good for an extra die here, right? I think that sounds
Okay.
fair.
So a fortune roll of 3 dice.
Yes.
You guys cool if I roll it?
Go for it.
4.
Okay. I think the gutter snipes come back and they're like, okay, sorry. I need to look something up to make sure I get the right names for things here. Real quick.
Hmm. It's just like an anatomical thing. They're missing tibias and shit because of the fucking song blade.
No, I want to make sure that I'm getting the right names for things in the city. Like
Okay.
yeah, like there's a landmark that comes up in conversation, and I want to make sure that this is like the right name.
Okay.
Don't hurt the
Um,
kids.
They're not kids. They're old enough to be harmed by our rules.
Yeah, so the gutter snipes come back. They got in trouble because they got caught by the bluecoats. So a couple of them got scuffed up, and they had to like take off running through the city and stuff like that. They come back. They got in trouble because the bluecoats spotted them when they were following the cart. Like Tuhan and Cinder did not spot them. The bluecoats spotted these like scruffy ruffian kids while they were in Brightstone.
Oh shit.
Um,
Okay.
They got as far from where Salt Bridge goes from the docks into Brightstone.
I'll Brightstone real quick.
And I will
Yeah.
pull up the Duskfall city map here so I can mark this out for you.
They got to which bridge?
They followed them across Salt Bridge into Brightstone. White is not a great color to stick on show. We'll make that yellow. How's that? Okay.
I don't see. Oh, the bridges have names.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Salt
Yeah.
Bridge is
Found
the
it.
It's the
Oh,
one that
man.
goes from the docks into Brightstone.
Okay.
And that's
We've been there before.
Yeah.
yes. He says that Zamira and Stev will explain that, like, yeah, but we got chased off by the Bluecoats when they had stopped there inside Brightstone, and Cinder got out of the cart, and Cinder got into another cart, a big fancy cart, and Cinder's cart headed towards Bowmore Bridge, and then.
Okay.
Then the Bluecoats spotted us and they chased us out because they didn't think we looked like we belonged in Brightstone.
How dare they?
I know, right? That's what I said. It's like, that's not what you said. You almost peed yourself. It's like, I did not. I didn't know such thing.
Bowmore Bridge is like not where we want this stuff to go.
I
Well,
think
she headed that direction, and then they got chased off before they could see if she was stopping on the bridge or going somewhere else.
I wonder if Demas is uh, correct that it's going to Imperials.
I mean,
Actually, wait a second. I'm from the Empire, so what do I actually like? What do I call them? Because like,
they're your people.
yeah.
The local
Well, I
government.
mean, the Empire covers like all the different nations except for Kypros.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, it is the Empire, and it is the immortal Emperor who rules. Um,
Okay.
but you are from like Akaros, which is one of the parts of the Empire,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sort of, United Kingdom, Wales, like.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps it is going to the Empire.
Also, just like out of character, Mike's mentioned the big hood thing several times. It is Imperial City fashion, which I think is what Demas is basing his assumption off of.
Mm-hmm.
Just to bring that back up for everybody, bring that back around.
Yeah, here, there's that handout.
Well, at least it
Yeah.
ain't Skurlock.
Honestly,
wonder...
yes, at least it's not Skurlock at this point.
I think
Is it-
I think it is going to be important for the schematics of what we've created so far to no longer be located here.
Say that again?
I think the schematics for everything I've created so far need to be hidden away, not at the hideout.
That's
Because
probably the most secure place to hold them, though.
I disagree. They know where it is. They can just walk in. And we are far enough along at this point that another artificer could conceivably pick up where I left off. At the very least, some portion of the mask's technology needs to not be housed here anymore, in case they decide to turn this place over.
Well, they should.
And this is speaking from experience. As you near the end of a project, patrons can get weird.
Can we just storm at your place, Maribel?
Absolutely.
My preference would be a place that they're unaware of. They know you. They know your home.
We could hold them there temporarily while we move them.
Something for us to consider, though. You all found me in a dark time in my life. That was having recently finished another invention for someone else.
That
We'll
reminds
see
me.
it done.
Okay.
But the next time I make a trip across the bridge, I can certainly look around and ask some quiet questions.
Is that where the consulate's at, out of character?
Most of the consulates are from the other nations, like the ones that aren't Akaros, and they are in other parts of the city. I forget where all we've had them, because I know this Goblin one and the Eruvian one have come up before.
Yeah.
The White Crown, the place that's out across that bridge, that's like the super rich elite, like government officials and like the head of the spirit wardens and all that kind of stuff who live out there.
Not to sound like I'm actually using my brain.
Why start now?
Oh,
See, Maribel, you could have just let that go.
I could have, but it didn't feel like I should.
Maybe we should do Demas's job. Maybe if he can get some sway, maybe we can find a way to get across that bridge easier as a crew.
Oh,
It could. That is a fair point. It would give us access to, well, an entirely new set of social circles. And though I can't do much directly as me, I have established an identity within the consulate from a few visits I made. So I would be able to maneuver a bit.
What exactly is your plan, though, Demas?
With regards to what?
What would the job be?
Oh, well, there's a few ways we can go about it. But essentially, I have this lovely gentleman who is ready to work on my behalf as head of the consulate. It's just a small matter of ridding ourselves of the current head of the Scotland consulate. And there are plenty of ways to do that. And it's just a question of how we want to go about it.
Is that Mara Karstis?
It is.
Have I run into her, Mike?
I don't know. Give me a fortune roll.
With dice? I always fuck up the fortune roll.
One because you're from here, and one because your family's been, fancy in the past. Sure.
5.
5. I think you've been in places that she's been, but you've never had like direct contact with her.
Okay.
I will say, as much as having her destroyed and maybe adding her spirit bottle to the shelf is a lovely thought, I think perhaps Iron Hook is better for her. So let's I
Why
think
would
that's
she
the
not
plan.
make a good fighter?
Oh, she'd make a lovely fighter. I'm a sucker for irony, and it's just an opportunity I can't pass on.
Do we have the means to put her into Iron Hook and keep her there?
It's the job, isn't it? I think it's doable.
I actually like Demas's plan.
And then we put your stooge in power?
Oh yes, he's well poised to take her place.
How does this benefit all of us, Demas?
As Griffith just so astutely stated, it gives us access to sort of a new ring of political contacts, which may prove valuable in the near future.
Be easy to get your whaling ship up and running again if all that paperwork just magically got signed without paying a dime.
Perhaps.
What's the matter, Maribel? Cold feet?
She'd kind of smile at that. No. Just watching the positions of power move, that's all.
Well, I think we have our work cut out for us, do we not?
Indeed.
Ohm has been sitting in there quietly the whole time, wearing Cinder's face, watching you guys have this discussion back and forth.
Take that thing off. That's creepy.
I think it is that, like, at least for Maribel's concentrated on Demas, so she's like ignoring.
Yep.
That. So.
Cousin, can I have a word with you real quick?
Yes.
Take the mask.
While Maribel and
please.
Demas just have a stare down.
Do you want it?
No, it's just I don't like Cinder's face. I've been wanting to shoot it since day one. I'd rather not.
Well noted. I will not wear it in front of you again. Lest it be shot.
Well, I know it's you. You stand like 5 feet taller than her. I don't know. I'm picturing her as like a tiny little woman. I don't know.
Yeah, Cinder's not super tall. Cinder's
the picture makes her look kind of short for sure. Because
yeah,
like the cropping, there's so much room above her head. It looks like she's,
Yeah. Now, if Cinder wasn't here for a particular reason and Cinder was just in a crowd, you would probably never notice Cinder.
Right.
All right. I would actually start speaking in Takarosi too, and be like, "Do you feel any tension between Maribel and Demas here lately?"
Ohm is kind of regarding the mask and responds back in Takarosi. I don't think they're dating, if that's what you mean.
No, no. More like possible power struggles.
Oh,
And also, I don't think that either one are their type. I mean, Demas is a little weird in some of his things, and Maribel is a little high strung.
um,
I don't think think it would work.
I don't know. Sometimes you need that kind of balance between two people, but I understand what you're saying. It probably wouldn't work out.
I
Just,
hate both of you so much.
I love the Takarosi cousins are the best.
And Ohm has nothing to say about power structure, but it's like, let's talk about relationships for a second.
Just
Sorry, I couldn't. Ohm wouldn't go there with you because Ohm doesn't swim in those pools. You know.
I get you. It's a thing though, because you got this warlike cousin versus this techie cousin, and it's like
Yep.
he wants to talk to him, but it's like at the same because he feels safe, but at the same time he's like, I know I'm talking to a wall, but I gotta get my thoughts out there to somebody.
Ohm is kind of a wall on this specific thing, for sure.
Also, they totally marry each other for the power struggle and then kill one another off. Like just to get the higher power.
Well, that's the thing. So this is what brings this whole conversation to. He's like, cousin, maybe it's time for us to plan an exit strategy. I know
Oh,
I was
yes.
planning one for myself,
I have
but
not finished the trapdoor. I will do that.
right. Maybe we also need to think about, I don't know, a way out of the city. Maybe to go back to the homeland. Dustfall isn't.
We just got your wife and her warhorse here.
Well, we have it in the city, but if we don't get that solved, there might not be a city left. I'm still doing research.
Okay. Well,
But
I understand. I'll be honest with you, cousin. This notion of the holes has me envisioning a future of real prosperity. I'm not just trying to eke out a survival, but perhaps even thriving here. If that came to fruition, then we all could get off the streets.
that would be nice.
So let me know what you're sensing as we go along. But if there's real prosperity here, then I would leap at that opportunity instead of be under the thumb of patron after patron who, if they don't kill you, they destroy your shop and leave you penniless.
This is true. And I would hate to do that. I would hate for that to happen to you again.
Yeah.
So I'll keep my eye out on these two.
Okay. Thank you.
Who's your preference?
Oh,
And then we can fade to black.
Yeah. If mommy and daddy got divorced, who would you think? Who would
Like,
have
who
yeah.
are we aligning? And then just fade to black.
Because Ohm would probably have a real look of fear in their eye of like, whoa, I'm not answering that question.
At one point, Maribel is just to Demas as they're kind of having this just look. Do you think they're talking about us? I keep seeing this.
Well, the two of you are having this very tense thing. It's like there's this Takarosi chirping going on in the background. It's slowly enters the mind's field.
Do you think they're talking about us?
It would never be so rude.
You think?
They're probably just trying to give us our space instead of
That is
having
an enormous social faux pas.
Just
Right?
and we look back and we both wave.
An enormous faux pas. So true.
Yeah, so
No, wait, no, we're not waving, dude. We're not gonna like. Come on.
Fine.
actually, what I would like, it would be funny if Maribel turned and like, "Are you talking about us?"
Owen would probably go, yes, and we think you'd make a terrible couple.
Absolutely.
See, the screwed up part there is that Maribel knows you're telling the truth.
Well, it's true. She does.
Yes.
You know when people are lying, whether you want
Please tell
to
me
or
that's
not.
canon now. Please tell me that's canon. That was all in character, right?
No,
he
it says in that like you can
Always.
detect lies thing. It's like this is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
People trying to be nice to you, you will know that they're screwing with you.
Mm-hmm. He's got a point.
Owen's gonna go back to their shop.
I'm gonna go check on my wife. Y'all have
Distracted.
whatever y'all talking about. Deuces. As he wanders back upstairs.
But I'm sure it'd be fun for a bit.
He was just gonna pick up his glass and give you one of these and just walk upstairs.
Maribel's just gonna smile.
One of the masks is still on the table. Owen took one, left one behind.
I will take that mask.
Cool.
That's the one with the other tooth in it, right?
Yeah.
I will take that mask.
Does anyone have anything else that they wanted to hit tonight, or can I give you all XP?
I have no extra scenes for the evening. That's good stuff. Good stuff at the end.
Half of the fun in running this game is I get to just like watch y'all do stuff.
Yeah.
Just,
Mm-hmm.
you just go, yeah, do it. Yeah, okay. So crew, we did not do any missions. We didn't really contend with. Oh, did you contend with challenges above your current station?
Well, hold on. We did execute a successful theft operation.
Theft of a face.
Yeah.
If other players are on board with that, then yes, we can do
I'm
it.
absolutely on board with that.
Oh,
How could we not be?
Does it?
okay.
Because now it's a whole like heat thing and all the other stuff too. Now it's an operation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough call for me.
Yeah, it was a little thing. It was not a real
Yeah.
heist, but I
We
I
weren't
wanted
all participating.
I
in
wanted
that.
to needle
It
them
was.
if I could.
If you call it espionage, I think it sounds more than if just trying to call it direct theft.
Sure.
Right? Like
Yeah.
there were
espionage
secrets
is legit.
going on here. There was.
Yeah,
something
I'll say there was a good bit of espionage going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were
Alright,
gathering like where they're going and that they're communicating via ghost field stuff and all of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's some espionage-y things there.
Okay. Did we contend with challenges above your current station?
Yes.
I will say, if nothing else, the patron is above your current station.
Yeah.
So that actually fills the crew XP meter, so we can take our all hands advancement data later.
Yes.
Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
Savvy.
Yeah,
I'd
we're
say
savvy.
you did show you were savvy, like you had legitimate progress on your stuff to show to your patron's representative.
Mhm.
Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the crew?
Oh man, there's a lot of inner conflict, huh?
Yeah, and a lot of goals and drives. We did a whole lot of that stuff tonight.
A lot of goals and drives too. Yeah.
We'll take the 2 from that. All right. Okay, so that covers the crew, and I'll add that all hands achievement advancement to the thing later too. XP triggers. Um, there's probably a limited number of these from playbook stuff. Ghost, Chris challenge with tracking or violence.
No.
Not much opportunity for that tonight. Yeah. Own, did you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem?
Yes, I did that thing.
Take an XP. Maribel, did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
No, not really.
Demas, did you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy?
I feel like I did a lot of conspiring. Or talked about conspiring. I don't know if that's the same thing.
We
Like,
used
we
to.
did a lot of like
Did you
big
did you
plan.
did you address a challenge with it?
Yeah, I was a challenge though. Yeah, that's a good point. So I would say no on that one.
To Griffith, Maribel, did I ask everybody your question already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raja was the other
Raja,
one.
did you address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power?
I think I was just getting information.
Okay.
So is that if that would be one?
Yeah.
Arcane
Go ahead.
information.
Let's give one to Raja for
Okay.
time hanging out with Eileen and Flint. Watching people eat egg salad sandwiches in the rain. That's okay. For everybody, did you express your beliefs drives heritage or background? I think there was a fair amount of heritage that went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody hit that one at least once.
Yeah.
And probably even for both of the characters, Katrina.
Okay.
I would say for drives for my character as a second one, just because now there's this undertone of getting out from underneath the gang if things go sideways, or potentially allying if there's a split with one side or the other.
And did anyone struggle with vice or trauma during the session?
Maribel did because she's soft, and Demas knew that, and he got her.
That grin. That needs to be a clip.
Oh, he knew it. Ethan knew it too because we talked about this shit.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What was it?
Yeah,
That's
asshole.
what I thought. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
I don't know if it counts as obsessed in terms of like obsessed with getting more faces for the mask. Like Ohm is kind of always taking those risks. In this case, there was a
really.
this was a real risk.
There was an actual legitimate risk there. Yeah, like if Cinder would have wound up upset, then like Patron and Tuhan would have wound up upset. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's fair to take an XP for that.
Okay.
Trying to think if I was reckless or vicious at all. I don't think I was. Not really.
There wasn't a lot of opportunities to hit on those tonight. So
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Don't worry, I'll make up for it in the next game.
If you had followed them, that would have been reckless.
Well, that's what I was pushing. I was pushing for reckless and for tracking. Like I have two things that I haven't done today: tracking or being reckless.
Yep.
Cool. All right, then I will add that advancement to the crew sheet, so that it's in there. And
what does that one do for us again? It allows us to.
That's the one where you can assign Kess to do.
Oh man, that's action. Awesome. Yeah, that's gonna really speed us up. That's great.
That was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
On that one.
That's a good one for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, subtext to that conversation we had with Ohm is probably going to be like Kess should not work on the masks. She should.
Why we have her?
Well, she should work on the other projects, like the umbrella thing, the hulls, the non-mask related tasks, so that she's not a weakness for us and the patron.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Is my thinking, but we'll see. Oh, good call. Let me cancel that.
Okay. Take that. No more raffle for you.
No more raffle. Thank you, Jagos, and Raffle Machine for telling us. Oh man, this was a good one. I really liked all that roleplay at the end. That was fun.
It was. This was a good one. There was a lot of interesting twists in this one tonight. Cool. Then yeah, we'll be back with more Blades next Wednesday. Friday even. It's Friday. Friday.
And
Friday.
Sunday.
More.
I imagine Friday is going to be a lot of just kind of discovering the world.
Sure.
You know.
That's fun.
Because I think
yeah, that's kind of my plan right now.
Yeah, and that'll be Cthulhu Hack, right?
Yep, Cthulhu
Yeah.
Hack.
Yeah.
Which is
Nice.
derived from the Black Hack.
which is like this. It's OSR, and I'm not typically a big fan of OSR when it comes to like fantasy and stuff like that. But something about that like gritty investigation, having that, it works. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I hope to get to show off some
Oh,
of
yeah.
the system because I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll see how much horror can be fit into the intro
Right.
one, but
Yeah.
but it is the horror game for sure.
It's spooky.
Well, awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been great. Mike, thanks a ton for running, dude. This was lots of fun.
Do you want to raid?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Let
I
us
have
raid.
Tankstein, who's a friend, who's
It's
part of the
Tankstein's
Jabronis.
birthday.
Who's this?
Tankstein.
He's a jabroni. It's his birthday.
Oh, he's playing XCOM 2 even? Yes.
Yeah, he just
His
made a
bir-
bunch of us in the game, and now he's waiting for us to die horribly.
That is
Sounds like
that is
someone else here that has done a thing like that.
that is how
Oh.
you that is
That's how
how
you
that
do it.
works.
Yep.
Yeah, you always add your friends, and then
Mhm.
and then you always mourn their loss, and they end up on the memory wall.
Yeah, you get emotionally attached to all of your soldiers and get them killed with your poor tactics.
That's right. All right, folks. Well, we are going to raid Tankstein, who is playing XCOM 2. XCOM, I have the board game. It's probably you can't see it, but I have the original XCOM UFO Defense, Terror from the Deep, and I forget what the third one's called. I think it's called Apocalypse. I have all of those. I love XCOM. I love that Tankstein is playing XCOM. We're gonna go raid this guy and wish him a happy birthday. It's gonna be awesome. So, everybody, as always, have fun and play well.
May all your rolls be crits.
Oh, we got to do the thing. 5, 4, 3, 2. We got to wait for the thing.